Hey guys, good evening. Guys, if you're able to see my screen, just type S in the chat box so that we can get started. Thanks for the confirmation, everyone. Today it's very important session, guys. Okay, so whatever I'm going to cover today is very important. So try to listen to this particular session carefully because we are going into object-oriented side in the today's session. Okay, we are going or moving on to the object-oriented side. So fine. So let's begin today's session then. Okay, with that note, very important session. Today's session is fine. So in the last session, I covered what are methods and what are variables, right? Now I am going to cover the remaining stuff. I'll start with something known as objects today. Okay, what are objects and all I'm going to cover. So fine. So let me go here and explain what exactly object means. Objects. What are objects? What are objects? Before going there, just give me a second. Let me also mention. Okay, just a message. Fine. So, what exactly is an object? What exactly is an object, or what exactly are objects? Objects are real world entities. Objects are nothing what representation of real world entities in Java programming or other programming languages. Okay. For now, we are going with Java programming. So I'm just taking the context of Java. In Java programming, what are objects? Objects are nothing but the representation of real world entities. Everyone type in the chat box, what are objects? Everyone type in the chat box, what are objects? Representation of real world entities in Java programming. Very important, guys. Okay, today's session is very important. I want 100% participation today when compared to the other sessions because it's very important. Okay, if you don't understand today's session, it will be very difficult for you to understand the upcoming sessions. Okay, very basics of object oriented programming I'm going to cover. So first of all, what exactly objects are? Representation of real world entities in Java programming or any other programming languages are known as objects. Then you may get a doubt, what exactly are these real world entities? So in order to represent these real world entities in Java programming, we are using objects. But what are real world entities? What are the examples of the real world entities? Anything that you see in this real world, okay? It can be a laptop, it can be a table, it can be a water bottle, it can be a book, it can be a pen, okay, it can be a chair, okay, it can be a mouse, it can be a switchboard, whatever I am seeing around me, okay, headphones, mobile phone, all this real world stuff that you see in the real world are nothing but the real world entities. If I can give you a lot of examples, guys, yes, car, animal, yes, a person, a real world entity, okay. Many examples you can give, guys, whatever you can see, right, that you can give. Cable, okay, tube light, window, door, okay, house, building, road, anything that you see in this real world, okay, anything that you see in a real world, pillow, bed, bed sheet, okay, mat, bucket, like you can keep going on, lock, key, anything that comes to your mind, okay, anything that comes to your mind, yes, fan, AC, cooler, anything you can say, guys, okay, and give a lot of examples for the real world entities. If you want to represent such kind of real world entities like laptop, table, book, pen, car, pillow, bed sheet, fan, house, building, road, AC, fan, okay, tube light, window, mouse, switchboard, like this kind of real world entities or real world items, if you want to represent in Java programming, then what we have to create in Java programming, guys? In order to represent the real world entities like this pillow and all those stuff, pillow, laptop, table, book, pen, mat, and all those stuff, in Java programming, I want to represent. In the Java programming, I want to represent this kind of real world entities. With the help of what I can represent? With the help of what, guys? With the help of objects. With the help of objects, we can represent this kind of real world entity examples in Java programming. Everyone clear what our objects are? Everyone clear with what our objects are? Objects are nothing but the representation of real world entities in Java programming. Okay. Without objects, you cannot represent this kind of real world entities in Java programming. Okay. So you need to create objects to represent this kind of real world entities. Okay. In order to represent real world entities in Java programming, we have to create objects. Okay, in order to represent real world entities like, for example, book, pen, car, fan, etc. in Java programming, we have to create objects. We have to create objects. Okay, now the question comes, how to create objects? How to create objects is the question, guys. Okay, I'm saying that in order to represent the real world entities, we have to create objects. But how to create objects is another question. How to create objects in Java? How to create objects? How to create objects in Java? To represent the real world entities, we have to create objects. But how to create objects? With the help of classes. Okay, with the help of what, guys? We can create. Okay, using classes, we can create objects, guys. Okay, using classes, we can create objects. Class is a factory. Class is nothing but a factory or a blueprint or a plan for creating objects. For creating objects, we need class. We need to use class as a template. Okay, you can use class as a template or factory or blueprint or plan. Okay, you can call anything, guys. Class is like a template or factory or blueprint or plan for creating objects. Okay, if you go to chocolate factory and there is that particular chocolate factory is producing one kind of chocolate. Okay, there the factory will create lakhs of chocolates or crores of chocolates to sell in the market, but they will be of the the factory will be there. Okay, similar type of objects will keep coming, right? Similar type of chocolates will keep coming. In this example, real world entities are chocolates. Okay, to create that to represent such kind of real world entities like chocolates, okay, in Java programming, we have to create objects. For that, we need a factory. For that, we need a factory for creating the chocolates, right? Like that. Your class is like a factory for creating the objects, or you can say class as a template. A template is there. If you have a template, what will happen, guys? The task can be done very fast, right? Template is already there means, okay, some template is there. Using the template, you can create any number of objects. Okay, if you have a template, PPT template is there, and if the PPT PowerPoint presentation kind of template is there with you, you can give any number of presentation and different type of presentations, right, in your company, etc. So similarly, it's like a template. Okay, class is like a template. Using that template, you can give some presentation, let's assume. Okay, this presentation is a real world entity that you want to represent in the form of objects in Java programming, whereas class will be required, okay, to use that as a template for creating the objects. Okay, in order to create objects, we need class. Class is nothing but an entity for creating objects. Okay, so guys, tell me, what is the final answer? What is a class? Class will create objects. Simple words. How to create objects? How to create objects? Using what we can create objects? Tell me, guys, everyone in the chat box. How to create objects in Java? Using class. Using class. With the help of class, we can create objects. So what is a class? What is a class then? If someone asks you what is a class? Class is nothing but a template or factory or blueprint or plan for creating objects. Okay, in order to create objects, that is to represent the real world entities, we have to create objects in Java programming. But in order to create objects, we need a class which acts like a template or factory or blueprint or plan for creating objects. Okay, So with the help of classes, we can create objects, but what exactly is a class? It's nothing but a template or blueprint or factory or plan for creating the objects. Okay, remember this things. That's enough. So theoretically, now everyone is clear theoretically, guys. What is an object? What is a class? How to create objects with the help of class? Class is nothing but a template factory. Using the class template or class factory or class blueprint or class plan, we can create objects. Objects. Why we have to create objects? To represent the real world entities like mat, pillow, a laptop, book, mouse, pen, etc. in the real world entities. In Java programming, we need to create objects. Okay, to create objects we need class, and class is nothing, will act like a template or factory or blueprint or plan for creating objects. Okay, this is what you have to understand. If everyone is clear, just type in the chat box, guys. If everyone is clear about objects and classes in this explanation, theoretically at least, we are going to go practical way. Okay, so first, without this theory, you will not understand practical stuff. Okay, so very basic thing that I'm covering here is very important. That's why I'm stressing out if everyone is clear or not. If not clear, just let me know. There's very important things to understand. Things, class and object, everyone, object and class, everyone need to understand. Okay. So just to summarize, to represent real world entities in Java programming, we need to create objects. Okay. Objects can be created using class, which acts like a template or blueprint or factory or plan. Okay, objects can be created using class. Class acts like a template, blueprint, factory, plan for creating objects. Okay, creating objects, class is required. Object is nothing but the representation of real world entities, but to create objects we need class. Okay, simple. Right. So looks like everyone is clear. Now let's switch to the Eclipse IDE, guys, and let's explore how to create a class, how to using that class, how to create objects to represent the real world entities. Everything I'm going to cover. Here I'm going to say create a new package, guys. I'm just going to create a new package here. Just right click on SRC. New. I'll just create a package. Class object demo. Okay, class object demo. I'll say click on finish. The package is created. Now in this, create a new class. I'll just name this class as car class. What is the name of the class I'm giving, guys? Everyone remember? What is the name of the class I'm giving? What is the name of the class I'm giving here? Car. Okay, I'm taking an example of the car. Okay, this class I'm creating with an intention of not running the code, but to create a template. Why I'm creating this class? My intention is to not run the code. Here, if I select main method, what will happen? I can write the code inside the main method. I can run the code. But this way, what I'm trying to do here is I don't want to write some logic and run the code inside the main method. Rather, I want to create a car class template. What is this car class? It's a template. I told you here, right? We have to use class, which acts like a template, blueprint, or factory or plan for creating objects. To create such kind of template, blueprint, factory, plan kind of class, do I have to select the main method, or do I don't have to select the main method? If I want to create a template, is main method required? Guys, tell me yes or no. Is a main method required if I want to create a template? If I want to create a car class template, is a main method required? The answer is no. Okay. If you are creating a class with an intention of using this class, if you want to create the objects, that is to represent the real world entities, in such cases, inside the car class, it's not required to create the main method, guys. Okay, it's not required to create the main method. You can create also, but there is a possibility also. But I want it to be different, separate template kind of stuff. Okay, you can create also, but it's not compulsory to create. It's not compulsory, guys. Okay. So I'm going to use this class, whatever the class I'm going to create with the name car, right? I want to use this as a template or blueprint or factory or plan for creating the objects, guys. That's why I'm not selecting the main method. Click on finish. Public class car will be displayed. Just increase the font size. Public class name. Class is a keyword for creating the classes. You already know. Public I didn't cover. Package I covered. Okay. Class name. Inside this class name, guys. Okay. Here I want to create what? Using this, why I have created this class? Just to run the program, or what is the reason I have created? To create a to create what? I created this class. To create objects, that's obviously fine. In order to create objects, we have to use this car as a what? This class as a what? Blueprint. Okay, why I have created this class? Not for general purpose. I want to use this as a blueprint or template or plan or factory for creating objects. So this car template you can say for now. Okay, for now let's not use multiple words. Let's say I created this class with an intention of preparing or creating a template. How can you prepare a template for a car class? I'll tell you. You'll understand. What are the properties that you see in the car, guys? If you purchase any car, what are the different things you will see? Just type in the chat box. Can you describe the car? Can you describe the car? Yes, mileage is correct. How many tires are there? Yes. Color of the car? Correct. Color of the car is correct. What exactly? Model of the car, right? Correct. Yes. Type of fuel, petrol or diesel, or yes, that also. Company of the car, brand of the car. Okay. So many other stuff are there. Accelerator. Okay. Those are the functionalities. That's okay. How to accelerate and color, mileage. Um, I mean, petrol, I mean, fuel type, durability. Yeah. Yes, safety features, airbag, how many airbags are there? What is the speed of this car? What is the maximum speed of the car? What is the minimum speed of the car? Okay, mileage, etc. Many things will be there, but the major ones I would like here. Yes, number of wheels of the car is correct, right? So whatever you have typed in the chat box is 100% right, guys. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to describe the car. String, I'll say model of the car. String, company, what is the car company? Then string, then double mileage, double price. Okay, like this I'll give different properties. Int wheels. I can keep on giving any number of properties, guys. Okay, these are few properties I selected because real car, if you want to represent, lot of properties are need to be, lot of variables to be created. These are global variables or local variables. Tell me, guys. These are local variables or global variables. Local variables or global variables, you have to tell me. Yes, they are global variables. So inside the car class, I created the global variables, which are outside the methods, directly created under the class. These are global variables, as you're rightly saying. These are global variables. I can create hundreds of global variables to describe this car, but for example, I cannot take that here. I'll take only the top five. These are the top five, I believe. Do you see maybe color of the car you can take, otherwise spring, color of the car. Okay. One more thing I'll take. Okay. Model, company, color, mileage, price, wheels. Enough, right? Uh, yeah, it can be alphanumeric also, no problem. In string only we can store if it is required. Okay. Model can be. Yes, we can still use string. String double quotes can store alphanumeric values, Kalyani. That's correct. We can use string still. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So these are few properties that will describe the car. And now, what do you generally do with the car, guys? What is the purpose of the car? Tell me. What you will do with the car generally? Tell me. You will drive the car. You have to start the car. You will stop the car, right? You will understand the. If you go to the showroom, you can get the details of the car. Like that, many things will be there, right? So I will create some methods here. Okay. Apart from these global variables, I would like to also create some methods inside this car class to create this car template. To create this car template with the help of what I'm creating the car template with the help of variables and methods. With the help of what I'm creating the class template here. With the help of what I'm creating this kind of template case with the help of variables and methods. Variables and methods. Inside a class, we contain variables and methods, and these variables and methods which describe the property of the car and actionable items of the car. For describing the properties of the car, we use variables, and to describe the actionable items, we create methods like public void. We can say start car. This is one method I can say. And if I start car, I'll simply write down system.out.println. Okay. This particular model, car having, plus this particular model, plus concatenation I am doing, guys. You know about concatenation, right? I explained you in the previous sessions, concatenation. A string literal is concatenated with a model and model is getting concatenated with the remaining text. Everyone remember that, right? Concatenation. Here place will not be used as an addition. Here it will concatenate the string literal text with the whatever the model string literal or whatever the number it can be or whatever it is. Car having the model and model and company plus company has started. Okay, like this, I created a method, guys. Okay, some variables are there. If I want to start the car, I have to call this method. It will start the car. It will simply print which car has started, car having this particular model and this particular company has started. Okay, like that I'll create a method. Similarly, I'll create one more method, that is public void stop car. When I want to start the car, I have to call this method. Okay, I assume that this print statement is the logic that we are writing inside the logic for starting the car. Okay, because I cannot write very complex code here, right? I'll just write a simple print statement to see whether the method is getting executed or not. Simple. Okay, assume that this is actual code for starting the car. This is the code for stopping the car. Okay, car having again the same thing, plus string literal plus model means this is concatenation operator, and the model will get concatenated with the remaining string literal text, model and company. Which company? Plus company plus has stopped. When you call this, it will print car having this particular model and car and company, this particular company has stopped, it will say. Okay, okay, when you double click it should come, but it's okay. Company, I'll just save this. The company should highlight, but that's okay. Okay, car having this model, I'll just copy paste here so that it will be better. Model, there should not be any spelling mistakes here. Company, this company and this company. Okay, you see company is getting highlighted now. Okay, has started, has stopped. Okay, two methods. I'll create one more method, public void get car details. These are all user defined methods, guys. They are not predefined. These are user defined class. These are user defined variables. These are user defined methods. Okay, I'm creating simply a template, guys. Nothing more than that. Okay, system.out.println, system.out.println, system.out.println. Company. Model of the car is. When you call this method, when you call this get car details, right, it should print all the details of the car. Model of the car is plus this particular model. Okay, this particular model will contain the data related to the model of the car. So now system.out.println company of the car is plus this particular company. The next system.out.println here I'll write down system.out.println. What is the next one? Color. Next one is color, guys. Okay, yes, color of the car is plus this color. Then mileage of the car is system.out.println. Here I'll say mileage of the car is plus this particular mileage. And next one, that is price. System.out.println. Price of the car is plus price. Okay, so first of all, I'm creating the class as a template, guys. Okay, using this particular template, we can create any number of objects. Okay, that's the reason we are creating some variables and methods inside the class, and together with all this code, the car class will become or act like a template or blueprint or factory or plan for creating the objects. Okay, using these variables and methods of this car class template, okay, we can create objects, guys. That's the reason I'm creating all this stuff. Okay, some sample variables and some sample methods. In reality, we can have hundreds of methods or thousands of methods, thousands of variables, lakhs of variables can be there. That's okay to describe a car. Okay, system.out.println. Next one is wheels. Number of number of wheels of the car is number of wheels of the car are otherwise, okay, plus wheels, okay, number of wheels of the car are plus wheels, okay. So this car is acting like a class or template for creating the variables. I mean, sorry, for creating the object, and the car class or any class template will contain what variables and methods will be there. Okay, a template which is required, okay, is nothing but the class. Class is nothing but a template or blueprint or factory or plan for creating the objects. And that kind of template will contain some variables and methods. It can be main method also can be there, guys. There's no restriction that you don't have to create main method. You can create that. But while explaining this as a template, right, if I confuse you with the main method, that won't look good, okay? So I want to use this as a template, separate template, okay? You can still write a main method here, but I don't want to do that. I want you to treat this like a template only, pure template, okay? If I mix that with main method, right, it's not a pure template. I want to use this class as a pure template, which consists of some variables and methods which describe this, which create this template, okay? To create the template, we have to use some variables and methods, and to create the object, we have to use this particular class. Clear, everyone? Everyone clear with this? Everyone clear with this? So far clear? How I created a template class? I didn't create the class in a normal way that I have created in the previous sessions, okay, with public static void main and all those stuff. I didn't create. I created the template in a different way where main method is not there. Some variables and methods are there to create this template. Okay, this is the way I created a template oriented class, template oriented class I created. Okay, normal class also I can create without having the purpose of creating the template. Non-template kind of class also can exist, but this class is a pure example of a template, pure template. Okay, using this template I can create a lot of objects, guys. Okay, using this car class template or class template I can create a lot of objects. How to create objects is the question now. Everyone clear with the template class? Everyone clear with the template class? Everyone clear with the template class? Just types in the chat box. This is very important concepts, guys. I will be keeping asking you. You have to answer me properly, whether you are able to understand or you are getting confused. You have to let me know, guys. Okay. Otherwise, I cannot explain properly. Okay. So you have to confirm me whether you are able to understand this class, which act like a template now. With the help of these variables and create methods, we created a template class. Okay. Great. Now I'm going to create another class. The purpose of this class is not for creating a template, guys. Okay. The purpose of this particular class that I'm going to create is not a template. Okay. Rather, I'll just create a demo, some random name like sample or demo, whatever you want to give, some name you give to the class. The purpose of I creating this class is not for the purpose of creating template like this. Rather, there is another use. With main method, I'll create. Once I create this main method, okay, in the demo class, you see how many classes are there here? Car class is there, demo class is there. Under this package, how many classes are there? Two classes are there now. Okay, two classes are there. One of the class is acting like a template. Okay, a blueprint or factory or template or plan, it's acting like that. This particular class, do you see it is acting like a template? Do you see this demo class acting like a template is? Does it look like so? Does it look like a template? Describing some car or something. It's like demo class with some main method. It doesn't look like a template, right? This car class looks like a template. So, but I need to create this demo class also with contains main method, because the execution of the code will start from which method in Java? The execution of the code will start from which method in Java? From the main method. That's why I have to create a class containing the main method. Okay, I'll remove this comment here. Now, if you want to see these two classes at the same time, you can do one thing. You can just minimize this package explorer and just drag this demo, and just when you see this kind of options, right, vertical option, just drop it. Now you can see both the code for the car class and the code for the demo class. Okay, demo code doesn't much. You can just drag it here. Okay, like this you can drag. Okay, so at the same time I can. Okay, why class doesn't need main method? You mean car class? You mean car class? I'm intentionally not creating. You can have the main method also. There's no problem. But I want to see this as a pure template. That's why I'm not creating there. Got it? My purpose of creating this car is to use it as a template for creating the objects. That's why I'm not creating the main method here. Got it? So here I'm creating another class, but the purpose of this car is not for the template creation. Okay. purpose of this car class is template creation, but the purpose of the demo class is not template creation. This is for running the code. If you want to add the main method, you can add it, no problem. You can add the main method here, but it will not be a pure template. Okay, it doesn't look like a pure template if I add that there. Java doesn't restrict you from adding a main method here. You can still add that, but I want you to explain what exactly a template looks like, a class template looks like. That's why I'm not involving any main method in this code. Okay, it should look like a pure template using which I can create objects. But where I have to create the objects? You see, in order to create objects, we have to run the code, right? In order to create objects, do we have to run the code, yes or no? In order to create objects, do we have to run the code, yes or no? Yes. But how to run the code? With help of what I can run the code? Program execution will start from running from where? Program execution will start from where? Main method. That's why I created the main method here. In this demo class, I created the main method so that I can run the code. In this main method, I'm going to write some, some statements which will create the objects using the car template. Using this car template, you can have any number of templates. Car template you can have, animal template you can have, separate templates you can have. Whenever you want to create objects for so and so templates, class templates, you can create this main method inside the main method. Okay, here it's not compulsory that only one template should be there. There can be any number of templates. It can be car template, it can be, bike template, it can be bus template, it can be flight template. Okay, anything can be there. But only, for example, I taken only one template here. Like this, you can create any number of templates in the Java programs, guys, Java projects, guys. Okay, but only car template I created to show you one sample example of the template which can be used for creating the objects. But to create the objects, we have to run the code. In order to run the code, we need the main method. So I created the main method in another class here. But this class, purpose of me creating this class is not as part of, using that as a template or something. But I want to run some code. That's the reason I created this general type of class. It's not a template oriented class, but a general oriented class. Okay. Now I need to create an object for this car class. How to create an object? Using which keyword I need to create an object? Using which keyword? What is the name of the keyword that I have to use for creating an object for the car class? New keyword. Okay. New keyword is another keyword in Java, guys. Everyone type new in the chat box. Everyone type new. You see it's coming in purple color. It's one of the keyword. A new keyword. Okay. It's really new for us, right? So till now I never explained anywhere how to, how to use this new keyword. For the first time, I'm explaining about the new keyword. In order to create objects with the help of this car class template, we have to use a keyword known as what? Everyone type in the chat box. In order to create objects for this car class, we have to use a template. We have to use a keyword known as what? New keyword. Everyone type. This is very important, guys. Please involve. Okay. Because if you don't understand this topic, I am making it very as much easy as possible. No one can make this much of easy for you. Okay. So try to focus and try to clear your doubts if there are any at the same time. Okay. New is a keyword. Okay. That can be used in Java, which will help us in creating the objects. After the new keyword, we have to provide the name of the class template, for which you want to create an object, using which you have to create an object. Using this car class template, I want to create an object. So here, new car, I'll say, right? New keyword followed by the name of the what? The name of the what, guys? Name of the template class. Name of the template class. What I have given here? Name of the template class for which I want to create the object. Okay? Name. Using this template class, I want to create an object. That's the reason I have to say new keyword. New will create an object for this. Which class? A template class. That is car class. Okay? The name of the template class, that is car class, I gave here. And this is not enough. You have to provide circular brackets, guys. This will create the object already. This has already created the object, but the circular brackets are required for other purpose. I'll tell you that later. As part of the syntax, after you say new car, you have to provide the circular brackets, guys. But what is the purpose of the circular brackets? I'll tell you later. Okay, did I cover what is the purpose of circular brackets? Did I cover? Yes or no? Using new keyword, using the class name, we are creating the objects. But did I cover what is circular brackets? Why we are putting it here? As part of syntax, I explained, but I didn't cover what is our real purpose, right? There is a purpose here. Why circular brackets are coming? There is a purpose here that I cannot explain now. In the upcoming topics, I'll explain. For now, you have to create an object means new car, circular bracket, semicolon. The moment you write this, what will happen? The moment you write this statement, what will happen? In the computer memory. Using the new keyword, using that class name as a template. Here, car class is being used as a template or blueprint or factory or plan for creating the objects. Using the new keyword, using the car class template, we are creating the objects, guys. Okay, here, come here and write down here. Okay. Using the new keyword and using the name of the template, class template, I'm going to create an object. This is a statement, okay, for creating the object. And to fulfill this statement, you have to end that with circular brackets and semicolon. What is the purpose of semicolon and circular brackets? I'll cover that later. Any statement in Java should end with semicolon, that you know, but circular brackets I'll cover later. Okay, but for now, this is a process of creating an object, guys. Okay, so in the assume that this is a computer memory. Assume that this is a computer memory. In the computer memory, some memory will be allocated for this particular object. Okay, some memory will be allocated for this particular object, guys. Okay, let's assume that this is object memory that is allocated. I'll simply say this as object one. Object one got created. Object one got created. Okay, the moment you say in the Java code inside the main method, when you run the program, right, when you say new car, an object is created using this car class template. Okay, for this car class template, an object is created with the help of class template, that is car class template. We create an object using the new keyword new car. Okay, class is used for creating the objects by writing this kind of statement. Some memory will be allocated in the computer memory for this particular object one. I'm not giving any name. I'm simply saying object one because this is the first object I created, right? So I'm saying object one. This computer memory is allocated for this particular object. Okay, now the thing here is, what is the memory address of this object? What can be the memory address? It can be something like this, right? 11000001. Computer language it will be. Okay, your computer machine will understand zeros and ones only. Okay, it can be something like this. We don't know. Can you remember this memory address? Can you remember this memory address of this object? Tomorrow you will create hundreds of objects. Can you remember this kind of binary code? Yes, that is binary code only that machine can understand. Can anyone remember the binary code for every object? That is not possible. Like you cannot remember the phone numbers of your friends, right? Hundreds of friends, right? You save them in your phone with the friend's name, and then whenever you need, you just open your call directory and type the name of the friend, and then you'll get that particular number and call that. Here also same thing. So here I created this object. This statement is enough for creating the object, but to give particular name, okay, to give some name to this particular created object in the computer memory, like variable we have done, right? Earlier int a is equal to 5, when I said a is the name for the memory location where the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. I told you, right, in the beginning, right? In the beginning of the sessions when I explained about variables, I told you variable is nothing but a name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. We cannot remember the memory location of that particular data where exactly it's getting stored, because every memory location will have some memory address in binary format that we cannot understand. Okay, so here also for this particular object also we have to give a name. Okay, I want to give a name for this also. So to give a name, I'll just simply say, just give me one example of a car, guys. Anyone? A real world car. A car is a template, but real world car, Audi.
Toyota.
But don't give me just Audi. You have to give me the model also.
Toyota Camry.
Toyota. You can type in the chat box later.
Camry.
X3 is correct. Okay. Tata Punch. Okay. BMW X4. Yeah. Keep typing in the chat box. That will be easy for me to understand. Yeah. Give some names, guys. Okay. So give some random names that you want to represent in this program here. Okay. I'll go with your instructions. Toyota Camry. Okay. Great. That's great. Okay. Great, guys. Great. Good number of examples. Tata Nexon. Some Indian cars are coming. Some, even some Tesla will be there. Anyone know about Tesla? You can type Tesla and their models and all. If you know, you can type in the chat box. So we'll do a mix of the cars. Okay. Indian cars and, foreign cars. We can mix them. Okay. Fine. So I'll take one of the car, guys. I'll take this BMW X3 car for now. Okay. I'll just take that BMW X3 is equal to, okay. This is the name I am giving to refer to this object. Okay. In order to refer to this object memory, I'm giving a name. What is the name I have given for the first car? First car's related object memory. To refer to the object memory of the first car, BMW X3 I have given. So this BMW X3 is called as object reference. What is this called as? Terminology wise, it is called as what? You should not call it as a variable. You should call it as an object reference, because this is like a reference to this particular object memory. Okay. Object memory of the class. Okay. Memory of the class for which, okay, it is referring to. That's why it is called as object reference. Everyone type in the chat box object reference. Yeah, Tesla Model S also came. Honda Odysseys came. Okay, a lot of cars will come. That's great. Good examples, guys. Okay. Yes, everyone type in the chat box this BMW X3, whatever the name I am giving, it looks like a variable, right? This is called as an object reference because it is referring to the memory location in the computer memory where the actual memory is allocated for the object, right? That memory address it is referring to. It's called as object reference. Since it is referring to the object, it is object memory, it's called as object reference, okay? You should not be calling this as a variable. You should not be calling this as a variable. A lot of people consider this as a variable, but it's not a variable, guys, okay? It's nothing but an object here. BMW X3 is an object reference, which is referring to the object that is created. Okay, one of the object that is created for this car class. Okay, now you see some error is coming already. Why I'm getting the error is it can be a variable or it can be a object reference. You have to declare that. What we have to do that in Java, whether it can be a variable or it can be an object reference. Whether you take an example of a variable, how do you declare variables in Java? How do you declare which data primitive data types? Using which primitive data types you declare the variables in Java? Tell me. You can type in the chat box. Using which
String,
primitive data types? Int, float, double, boolean, char, right? All these are the primitive data types. You can declare the variables. But here, is this a variable? Is this particular thing is a variable? Is this particular thing a variable? No.
the string.
It's an object reference. Okay, it's an object reference, not a variable. It's an object reference. It's an object reference, which is referring to the memory location of this particular object that you have created using the new car statement. Okay, it's an object reference. So to declare this object reference, we cannot use primitive data types like int, float, double, boolean, okay, byte, short, char, like that you cannot use. What you can use then? Same name of the car class. The name of the class you have to use. This is a class type. This class type. Okay. You are declaring this particular object reference with the same class type. Okay. The other ways also, but this is an important one. Okay. To begin with object-oriented concepts, you have to declare this particular object reference with the same class type for which you are creating the object for. Okay. Using the name of the class for which you are creating the object, the same name of the class you have to take for creating this particular object, for declaring this or defining this object reference. Okay. For declaring this object reference, we have to use the name of the same class type we can create for now. Okay. To get started, car name is equal to new car. Okay. Here new car, this statement is enough for creating the object, but in the computer memory, some memory will be allocated for the object. Some object reference should be there as a reference to this memory location of the object. For that, we'll create an object reference with some name, some understandable names like BMW X3, etc. We can create. Okay. But this particular object reference should also be declared with the same class type. Okay. Everyone type same class type. We have to declare this object reference with the same class type. Same class type. Everyone type in the chat box. For now, same class type is enough. So everyone type same class type in the chat box. How to declare this object reference? We should not be using any primitive data types. Rather, we have to use the same class type. Okay, for which you have created the object, right? New car is the name for which you have created the object. Okay, circular brackets, I told you, I'll explain later. So I gave you the object reference to refer to the memory location where the object is allocated for the car class template. Okay, and using the same class name, I have to declare this particular object reference. Clear, everyone? Types in the chat box if everyone is clear with this object creation statement. Full object creation statement. This is the actual object creation statement. To make it full, you have to write like this. Okay. To make it full, you have to write like this. Everyone clear? Just types in the chat box. That means, am I going to represent the BMW X3 car in the Java programming? Is BMW X3 car a real world entity? Yes or no? Is BMW X3 car is a real world entity? Yes or no? Yes, right? So I'm going to use BMW X3 car as a real world entity. To create that real world entity, I have to create an object for the class using the class template. Using the class template, class will act like a template or blueprint or plan or factory for creating this kind of objects. Using the new keyword, we can do that. And we'll create an object reference to refer to this particular memory or location of this object. And then we have to declare that object reference with the same class type. Okay, this is the object creation, entire object creation statement with declaration and object creation both. Yeah, declaration is there, object creation is also there. Now, once that is done, now you see this part Okay, can you see my screen? Guys, can you see my screen? Great. Fine. I came to my hometown, guys. It's getting disconnected here. I'm trying my level best. Just wait. I just connected to my mobile data for a while. Let's see how it goes. If any problems are there, you just let me know. Okay. I'll continue till, whatever that is possible for me. I'll try my level best. But let's see, because this is a very important session. Okay. Yeah, fine. Let me know, guys, if any problems or challenges you are facing in the internet or something. I just connected to my mobile data. That's the reason. So fine. Guys, here car name is equal car object reference is equal new car. Now I have to create. I have to represent an object. Okay, I have to create an object or represent an object. Okay, by creating an object, I have to represent a real world entity. To represent a real world entity, I'll take this object reference. I'll take the object reference of this car class and say dot. Simply say dot, guys. Okay, simply say BMW X3 object reference dot. What is coming, guys? I can take model here. I'll take model. What is the model of this car? X3 is the model of the car. What is the company of the car? What is the company of the car? BMW X3 dot company is equal to BMW is a company. Then I'll write BMW X3 dot color. What is the color of the car? Let's say blue color. Okay. Generally, a lot of BMWs are in blue color. That's okay. BMW X3 dot mileage. Anyone know what is the mileage that BMW X3 will give? Anyone know what is the mileage?
So one question, we are defining the value in the another class demo, right? We are calling the class called car in this.
Yes.
Okay.
We are creating an object for the car class, and using the object reference, we can refer to the memory location of the car, right? We can refer to the memory location of this particular object using the object reference, and we have to define this object reference with the same class type. And after that, we can use the object reference to define all these properties of this BMW X3 car. Okay, what happens here the moment I write BMW X3 dot model is equal to X3, BMW X3 dot company is equal to BMW X3 dot color is equal to blue, BMW X3. What is the general mileage, guys, that BMW X3 can give? I think 12.3. Let's give. That's okay. And then BMW X3 dot price. What is the price? Anyone know what is the price of the BMW X3 in Indian rupees? Let's say. Yeah, 55 lakhs to 60 lakhs, let's say. Okay. Let's see.
So can we define those value in the car class instead of here, or what's the reason?
I'll go there later. I'm going step by step. Just follow whatever I'm explaining. You'll understand it. Okay. So that is a shortcut. Let's not take the shortcut paths. Okay. We'll go. We understand the pain points. After that, we have to go in that side. All those stuff. Okay. Just wait for a while. Your answer will come. Fine. So BMW X3 dot model X3 and BMW X3 dot company is called BMW. X3 dot color is equal to blue. BMW mileage is equal to 12.3. BMW price is equal to this one. And BMW X3 dot wheels is equal to how many? How many wheels? 4 wheels. Okay, done. Now, if I have to call these methods, I can use the same object reference to call these methods. BMW X3 dot start car. It will start the BMW car. BMW X3 dot stop car. BMW X3 dot get car details. Okay, like this, I'll call the methods also using the object reference. I can call these methods of the class. But when I assign the values, right, what will happen in the computer memory in this particular object memory, right? Okay, for this particular first object for which BMW X3, okay, for this particular object for which BMW X3 object reference is referring, right? Okay, here model is equal to BMW X3 dot model. Model is equal to model is equal to what? Model is equal to X3. Then company is equal to BMW. All these details are getting stored in this memory location that is allocated for this object, and to this particular object BMW X3 object reference is referring. Okay, like that. Okay. Then model price color. Color I have to write. Color is blue color. Then mileage If I remember, that is 12.3 that we have assigned. And then price of the car is 55 lakhs. And then wheels of the car are 4 wheels. Okay. Number of wheels of the car are 4 wheels. Okay. Like this, the data is stored. Now, the moment I say BMW X3.startCar, what will happen? The start car will be called car having the model. Which model? Here, what is the model that we have given? BMW will refer to this memory location. Car having the model means it will get the model value from here, X3. Company, which company? It will refer to this memory location, BMW.company BMW. Okay, has started will be printed. Okay, when you call this method, car having model, that is a X3 model, and company BMW has started. For this method, when you call stop car method, okay, BMW X3.stopCar you are saying. BMW X3.stopCar means stop car will use all these values of the object. Okay, car having the model, which model? X3 model, and company, which company? BMW has stopped. Now, when you call get car details, what will happen? When you say get car details, we'll call this method in the car class. Okay, BMW car class, and then using this object reference, model of the car is which model here in the memory? X3. X3 will be printed. Company of the car is which company? BMW will be printed. Color of the car is which color? Blue color will be printed. Okay. Then mileage of the car is what mileage? 12.3. And then price of the car is what? 55 lakhs. Number of wheels of the car are what? Wheels 4. This we have assigned 4, so it will BMW X3 object reference will refer to this memory location and then get these values whenever this particular methods are being called. So here we are initializing this particular class variables for this particular object. Okay, we are initializing the class variables, class template variables for this particular object, for this BMW X3 object referred object, right? Object reference referred object, right? For that object, we are initializing the class variables. Okay, these are class specific variables, object specific variables, Okay. Using the car class template, we created an object, guys. In that object, we have stored all the values. We have initialized the variables, car variables for this particular newly created object. Okay, using the object reference of the thing. Okay, and we also called the start car, stop car, get car details using the same object reference only. So with the details only, the start car, stop car, and get car details with the values that got initialized to these variables only, all these methods will run. Now run the code and see whether we are getting the output properly. Right-click run as Java application and see whether in the output the particular methods will be called. Car having X3 model and company BMW has started. Car having X3 model and company BMW has stopped. Model of the car is X3. Company of the car is BMW. Color of the car is blue. Mileage of the car is 12.3. Price of the car is 55 lakhs. Number of the wheels of the car are 4. Clear, everyone? How did I initialize this particular class variables for this particular object and then call the methods which are referring to the values that are stored in that particular object memory? Is that clear, everyone? Just type C in the chat box if it is clear. I'll create few more objects, guys, to make you confusion more. To get more clarity, I'll create few more objects. Okay. So we have given different names for the car, right? I'll take one more class, one more object I want to create now. Okay. One more object I'll create. This time I'll create one more object.
Sir, what is the definition of object reference, sir?
Object reference is used for referring to the memory location, okay, which is allocated for the object. Object reference is nothing but a reference to the object memory. Simple words, okay. For a particular class, you create an object. When you create an object, some memory will be allocated for the object. To refer to that memory location of that particular object, we use object reference. Got it? There's no particular definition, but you have to understand object reference is nothing but a reference. It's like variable is a reference to a memory location where actual data is reserved memory location where actual data is stored, right? But similarly, object reference is a kind of name, you can say. Okay, object reference also you can say is a name or reference that can be given to that can be used for referring to the object that is allocated for a particular class. Okay, for a particular class object. Okay, reference to a particular class object memory. Reference to the particular class object memory is nothing but the object reference. Simple words. Name
So
given.
if I understood you correctly,
yes.
Each object reference has within it, it should be like variables and values, right?
Yes. So each object reference will have, variables and methods if you want to access the variables and methods of the particular class for which you created the object, right? You have to use object reference. If you want to initialize the variables for a particular, for a particular class object, in the particular class object memory, if you want to initialize the variables of this particular car class, you have to use the object reference of the car. Okay, but that is not the definition of the car object reference. Object reference means it refers to the memory location of the class in the computer memory. Okay, object reference refers to the memory location of the car class where object is created in the computer memory. Got it? Where memory is allocated in the computer memory. You see?
Okay.
Getting my point? Object reference is nothing but the reference. It's like an address. It's like an address, guys. Okay. You see, you cannot remember this kind of address, right? So what I'm doing, we are giving a name as an object reference to refer to the memory location. Okay. For the memory that got allocated for the object. Okay.
So for the same class, it should be like multiple object references,
yes,
right?
we can create multiple objects. We can create. Basically, don't call that as object references. Okay.
Okay.
We can create multiple objects for the same class. Okay. Using the template, we can create multiple objects. Okay. So here, if I have to explain about object reference, right? Object reference is nothing but a name given to the memory location of the object, that got allocated for the class object. Okay, location of the object, otherwise memory location of the object. We can simply say like this: object reference is nothing but a name given to the memory location of the created object.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yeah, guys, can you see my screen again?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is back again. So,
Sir, can I go to the program, sir? Not out.
This one is clear for you, first of all. Object reference is nothing but a name given to the memory location of the created object. Is clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this program, tell me.
Program. So for character also, is it double digit or single digit, sir? BMD model. Okay, it's not a character. That is a string, is it? It's not a one character.
Model is string, right? Model is string.
Okay.
String means double quotes.
Okay.
String literal, double quotes. Okay. Company also double quotes. Color also double quotes. Mileage directly decimal value, decimal number, and price. You can give in decimal value or you can give integer. It will take, doesn't matter. And wheels int data type. Okay. So based on that only we gave the proper literals. Clear?
Yeah. Float. What is the difference, sir? Double and float.
I covered that in the previous sessions, right?
Okay,
you can refer to them.
Okay. Can you run the program, sir? Just to see output.
Yeah, I'll run the program. Car having the X3 model and company BMW has started. Car having the X3 model and company BMW has stopped. Model of the car is X3. Company of the car is BMW. Color of the car is blue. Mileage of the car is 12.3. Price of the car is 55 lakhs. Number of wheels of the car are 4. Okay. Since we are calling these methods, the statements inside these methods are being executed and with these variable values that you have initialized. I'll create one more object for the class, new car, I'll say. Okay. Now what happens when I again say new car? What will happen in the computer memory? In the computer memory, again, some memory will be allocated to another object known as object2. Some random name I'm giving like object. I'm referring this as object2, and it also may have some address, guys. Okay, 111100001111. Okay, like there's some address maybe there. Assume that you cannot remember this address of this memory that is allocated for this object when it got created, right? So what we will do, guys, what we have to do to refer to this particular object memory location, what we have to do, we have to create an object reference, right? Some here, from here, I'll just write down here. What is the car you want, guys? This time after BMW X3, what is the next car? Same variable naming convention only. Okay, naming convention is same variable naming convention only. Lower camel case only, same. Okay, for objects also, yeah, Honda Odyssey. Okay, let's write down Honda HOD. Okay, I'll simply say HOD. Okay. I'm just giving some short name. I don't want to give a big name. HOD I'm giving. And car, I'll say car is equal to car. I have to declare that with the class, same class name type. And here, the moment I say new car and to refer to this memory location of this particular newly created object, right, in the computer memory, I'm using an object reference. I have to declare the object reference with the same class type. And if I have to initialize if I want to initialize this particular class variables inside this object memory, specific values for this object for that car class template. If I want to represent a real world entity by creating an object here, what I have to do, guys, what I have to do here, how to initialize the object specific values using the class variables, what I have to do? What is the next step? Tell me what is the next step, guys? What I have to write here? Object reference,
HOD,
HOD, I'll say HOD
dot model.
Dot model. Okay. HOD dot model is equal to ODC, right? ODC. ODC. Okay, let's see. Then HOD dot company is equal to Honda company. Okay. Then HOD dot color. Let's go with the white color. And HOD dot mileage. Let's give some 14.23 as a mileage. Okay, let's give some random number. HOD dot price. It may not be correct, but 1 crore. I don't know what will be the price, but I'm just giving something like this. 56 lakhs. I'm just assuming and giving. That's okay. 1 crore 56 lakhs. Let's say. HOD dot wheels is equal to number of wheels is 4. Wheels is equal to 4. Again, when I initialize this class variables, this particular class template variables for this particular newly created object, when I initialize in the computer memory, for the memory that is allocated for this object, to which HOD object reference is referring to, this HOD object reference is referring to, there what will be stored with the help of this HOD object reference, what will be stored here? Model is equal to ODC, company is equal to Honda, color is equal to white, mileage is equal to 14.23, I think so, right? Price is equal to 1 crore 56 lakhs in rupees, let's say. And wheels is equal to wheels, how many wheels? 4 wheels. Okay, like this we have created. Now this is what happened, guys. HOD is referring here. Now using after initializing the class variables for this particular specific object and storing this data in the object memory that got allocated for this newly created object of the car class. Okay, now using this object reference, I can call these methods like start car, stop car, get car details. When I say start car, it will invoke this method, start car method, car having a model and company has started. It will take these details, guys. Okay, car having the model as ODC and company as Honda. From this this object memory, it will take HOD dot. It will refer there. Okay, HOD dot start car. You are saying means HOD will refer to this memory. Okay, initialized values for that particular memory of that object. Okay, in the memory of that object, and then start the car. Car having the model, that is ODC model and company Honda has started. Car having the model ODC and company Honda has stopped. Then model of the car is ODC, company of the car is Honda, color of the car is white, mileage of the car is 14.23, price of the car is 1 crore 56 lakhs, number of wheels of the car are 4. Okay, will be printed in the output if I call this method HOD dot stop car. If I say HOD dot car details, I'm going to do one more thing, guys. If I run as it is, right, 2 objects I created so far. If I run as it is, right, everything will come like this without any separation. We cannot understand what are the BMW car details and what are the Honda ODC car details. So what I'll do here is smartly, what I'll do here is here I'll write a print statement saying the separation line I'll write. Okay, just for the sake of seeing the output in a better way. I'm just writing that's not required otherwise. Right click, run as Java application. If you say You see, car having the X3 model and company BMW has started. Car having the X3 model and company BMW has stopped. Model of the car is X3. Color, company of the car is BMW. Color of the car is blue. Mileage of the car is 12.3. Price of the car is 55 lakhs. Number of wheels of the. This is the first object. Using the first object reference, you have called all the methods. So this data has come that you have initialized for that particular object created for that particular class. For second object, whatever the memory that is using the object reference, you are referring to the memory location of the second object. Okay, these details are coming. Car having the Odyssey model and company Honda has started. Car having Odyssey model and company Honda has stopped. Model of the car is Odyssey. Company of the car is Honda. Color of the car is white. Mileage of the car is 14.23. Price of the car is 1.56. Some decimal value is coming. So that's okay. This is a double representation only. This is another way. Let's not worry about the number of wheels of the car are 4. Okay, like that it is coming. Okay. So next thing is how many objects I created so far, guys? How many objects I created so far? How many objects I created so far? 2 objects. I would like to create like around 4 to 5 objects, guys. Quickly, I'll create some objects here. Okay. So new car, again, I'll say new car. New car. This is how we have to create an object. Whenever you say new car, object will be created. A new object will be created in the computer memory, and here a new object will be created for the computer memory for the object 3. Okay, some 4 objects I'll create, guys. This is object 3. Let's say object 3. Okay, in the object 3, what I'll do, I'll give some object reference to refer to this particular object memory that is created for the class using the class. Okay, so here I'll give SVDI, and here I'll say car. SVDI means Swift VDI. Okay, Indian car. So SVDI dot model is equal to Swift VDI is okay. Okay, MSVDI I'll say otherwise. Okay, MSVDI, Maruti Swift VDI, Maruti Suzuki Swift VDI, whatever you can call Swift VDI, and MSVDI dot company of the car is Maruti company, Maruti. Okay, then MSVDI dot color is red color. Let's say red color. Then MSVDI dot price is 8 lakhs or 9 lakhs, let's say, or 8 lakhs I'll take, otherwise 8 lakhs. Okay, so MSVDI dot wheels is equal to 4. Wheels is equal to 4. Like this, if I create, what will happen in the computer memory? Anything I'm missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only came. I think I'm missing mileage somewhere. After color, I have to give the mileage. MSVDI dot mileage is equal to 23.12, let's say. Now in the computer memory, for the object memory that is allocated for that object. So here we created an object reference which can refer to this object memory, which is referring to the object memory. That is MSVDI is the object reference. MSVDI is object reference. Using this object reference, we have initialized the variables of the class variables for this particular object. Okay, newly created objects, class variables, we have initialized. Model is equal to Swift VDI is a model. Then company is equal to Maruti. Company is equal to Maruti. And then color is equal to red color. Then mileage is equal to 23.12. Then price is equal to 8 lakhs. I gave 8 lakhs. Then wheels is equal to 4. Okay, wheels is equal to 4, like that I gave. Okay. Now if I say MSVDI dot, if I say MSVDI dot start car, MSVDI dot stop car, MSVDI dot get car details. Okay, if I write like this, okay, get car details. Now run the code. What will happen? How many objects are there so far, guys? How many objects are there so far? How many objects I created so far, guys? Tell me. How many objects I created? BMW X3, HOD, and MSVDI. Three objects. You see in the output, what will happen? Are having the X3 model and BMW has started stopped. Model of the car is color, company of the car is, color of the car is, mileage, price, and Odyssey Honda car details came here. And here Swift VDI car details came here. Okay, for separation I gave a line, so that's the reason we are able to identify it very easily. Okay, like that you can create any number of objects, guys. You can create 100 objects if you want to create using the car class template. If you want to create 100 objects here. The only keyword that you have to use is new keyword, and last object I'm creating, guys. Okay, for this example, I'm creating the last object. Okay. Default value will be stored. Okay, Selvi, get, if you don't assign any value to a particular variable, right, of a particular object, right, default value will be stored. For string, null will be stored. Okay, like that. Okay, some default values will be stored. Okay, some default values will be stored if you don't assign anything. Null values will be stored for strings. Okay, for numbers, 0 kind of things will be stored. For booleans, false will be stored, like that. Okay, some default values. For decimal values, 0.0 will be stored by default if you don't assign. Got it? Clear? Yeah, new. I'll say I'll give one more class, that is I20, HY I20. I'll say Hyundai I20. Let's say I'll say car class, car, and using this object reference here already. When you say new car, right? When you say new car here in the computer memory, some memory will be allocated for the fourth object. Fourth object you have successfully created, and I'll just randomly call this as object 4 here. Object 4. Yes, string, null, number 0, booleans, false, and our default values, right? For decimals also 0.0. For decimal 0.0, which one? For floating point or double, right? It will come as 0.0. Okay. Those are the default values. Now here I gave an object reference here. I gave an object reference here. I gave an object reference here. That is what is object reference I gave here? HY I20 is object reference, and here I'll give model is equal to I20 is a model. I20 is a model. Company is equal to what will be stored in the company value, company variable for this object reference object. Company is equal to Hyundai, HYUNDAI. Then color is equal to, let's say, gray color. Mileage is equal to, let's say it will give what is something that I have not given so far. I'll give that. I'll say 16.82 or something I'll give. Okay, some random number. Price is equal to 12 lakhs. Then wheels is equal to 4. Okay, like this I gave. Got it, guys? Clear, everyone? I created 4 objects here. Okay, in these 4 objects, the details are stored. HY20. I didn't give the initialization actually, but I stored it already. HY20 dot model is equal to, double quotes, give string literal, right? So I20 I have to give, and then HY I20 dot company is equal to HYUNDI, Hyundai company. Then HY I20 dot color is equal to gray color, I said, right? And double quotes give gray color. Then HY, here I should be there, HY object reference name dot, okay, HY I20 dot mileage is equal to 16.83 or something I gave, I think so. I am right, 82. Then HY I20 dot price is equal to 12 lakhs I gave. Then HY I20 dot wheels is equal to 4 I'll write. Okay. Now using this object reference, I will call the methods, class template methods. Start car, Hyundai I20 car will start. Okay. HY I20 dot stop car, Hyundai I20 car will stop. HY I20 dot get car details. All the car details of this Hyundai I20 will be retrieved and printed. Like this particular method will be called, and then model of the car is I20, company of the car is Hyundai, color of the car is color, gray color, mileage of the car is 16.82, price of the car is 12 lakhs, number of wheels of the car are 4. Everything will be printed like this. Run this code. Until now, how many objects I created? 4 objects I created, guys. You can create any number of objects. Objects are nothing but what, guys? Let's refer again the concepts. What are objects? Objects are the representation of the real world entities. Are they? Yes or no? Does it look like we are representing a real world entity here? Guys, here BMW X3 car we have represented, right? With the help of object. Here, Honda Odyssey car we have represented, which is a real world entity. Then here, Maruti Swift VDI car we have represented. Okay, a real world entity car we have represented using the object. By creating an object, we can using objects we can represent the real world entities. But to create the objects, we have to use a class name. Okay, that class should be of template type and with some variables and methods, and create an object for the template class, and then give an object reference, and using the object reference initialize the class variables for this particular object. Okay, and store in the object memory of that particular object, and then call the methods of the car so that all these values will be referred from the object memory of the class, object memory of that memory location, and will be retrieved, and the methods will be executed as usual with the initialized data. Okay, but there is a problem with this code, guys. What is the problem with this code? Can anyone tell me what is the problem with this code? It's all good. It's working fine. You see, if I run this code, it will work fine. Without any problem, it will work fine. There is no problem with the working. It works. It works. You see, Swift VDI, I-20, it is working. The problem is the number of lines that I am writing is a problem. The number of lines I am writing for each and every object is a problem. Too long. The program, if you have 100 objects, if you have to represent 100 real world cars, how many statements you have to write? For every object, you have to write this many statements for initializing. For every object, 1, 2, in this example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In real world, if there are hundreds variables, you see, every object, 100 variables, you have to write the statements. 100 statements you have to write for every object. That is not a good thing, right? That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Even though this works, but it's not a realistic thing. So what I will do here is, okay, I'll do one thing. Here, I'll create a sub package otherwise, or I'll create a sub package or something. Object dot to, I'll say. Some sub package I'll create. Under the sub package, I'll just close this car.java. Just to save the time, right? I'll close the car.java and demo.java and copy these two files. Control C and Control V. I'll create a copy of this car and demo. Here I'll create one more class. Let's say .1, I'll say. So in this original classes, I'll cut and paste. Control X, Control V. Okay. Here car demo. Here I'll delete this. Outside the package, I'll delete this. Whatever I have demonstrated to you are part of the one package. Now, whatever I'm going to demonstrate are part of the second package, two package now. Okay. These are the new stuff. This is a replica I have taken. Okay. A replica of the previous code I have taken to explain something that I want to explain here. That is, I don't want to write this many number of lines of code for each and every object. Instead, I want to replace the 6 lines with only 1 line. I want to replace this initialization statements with 1 line only. For every object, I don't have to write 6 statements. For initializing the class variables, for every object, I don't have to write 6 number of lines. What I will do to overcome this problem, what I will think about is I'll create a method here, guys. I'll create a method here, okay? I'll create a method, and with the help of the method, I'll initialize this class variables for this particular object. I'll tell you how to do that. In the class template itself, I'll create a method public void, okay, initialize variables. Like this, you can give anything, init var or something. Just give some any name, okay? I'm giving a short name here, initialize var. You can understand this, right? You can give initialize variables or whatever the name you want to give. You can give a user defined name here. And here, I have to copy this string model here, comma. First parameter is what? This is a method, guys. I'm creating a method here with the name, initialize variable or init variable or whatever it is. You can create a method here. String model, then string company. Second parameter. Then third parameter is what? String color. This is the third parameter. Then comma. Then what is the fourth parameter? Double mileage. Double mileage is a fourth parameter. And then what is the fifth parameter? Double price. Double price, the fifth parameter. I'm creating a parameterized method here. Okay, there is a reason why I'm doing this. Just wait for a while. You'll understand. Int wheels. Int wheels, you give the int wheels here. Okay, int wheels. Done. Great. So this method I created, guys, this method I created. I'll just do one thing. I'll just drag it this side so that you can see both. So this is a kind of method I created in this car class template. I created this kind of method, guys. Okay, public void int, and all these parameters are there. Okay. Now what I will do to this class variable, I have to assign this model. So how to do that? This model is equal to this particular model. The class variable model is equal to the parameter model. This particular parameter model. Then what is the next one? The class variable company is equal to this particular parameter company. Okay. Whatever the value that when I call this particular initialize variable, right? I'll pass some arguments to this method, and that arguments will be passed to the class variables. Okay. That's what I want to do. company is equal to company. Company is equal to company. Then color is equal to class variable color is equal to color. Then mileage is equal to mileage. Okay, this mileage. Then price is equal to class variable price is equal to the parameter price. Okay, when I call this method, all the values will be initialized automatically. That's what is the plan. Then wheels is equal to class variable wheels is equal to here parameter wheels. Like that, I created a method. Okay. Now the problem here is the name of the class variable is same, the name of the parameter is also same. So which one will be given the preference, guys? Okay, here model is equal to model means if I select this model parameter is only getting highlighted. If I select this model, here also model is getting selected. Do you see any class variable getting highlighted? No. If I say company, this company is getting highlighted. Parameter, this one also parameter. You are assigning the parameter to parameter only because class variables have the same name as the parameter names. So when you say model is equal to model means you are assigning the model parameter to the same model parameter only. You say company is equal to company means it's not getting assigned to the class variable, rather it is getting assigned to the company method only. Okay, color is equal to color, mileage is equal to mileage, price is equal to price, wheels is equal to wheels. Okay, these are all parameters only. Left side is a parameter, right side is a parameter. What is the problem here, guys? Okay, that is not a good idea, Ramya, for now. Can you use argumented static method and call that using object? Let's not go with that for now. Let's deal that with later. Okay. The problem is with ambiguity. Yes, correct. It's not even ambiguity. It's clearly taking as parameter only. Okay. This model, same name, right? So same name. So what I will do here is to overcome this problem, I'll give a different name for the parameters. If the car variable is model, I'll just give the parameter name as MO. COM or CO company or COM is better. Okay. And here COL. Okay. Here MOD, COM, COL, MIL, mileage. Short forms I am giving. PRI, WHE, wheels. Okay. Like this, if I give, then there's no problem. If I click on this model, right? This model is getting highlighted. And here, if I say MOD, right? You see this parameter is getting highlighted. Now, if the parameters have the same name as the class names, there is a problem. The parameter is getting assigned to the same parameter only. But if I give different names for the class names and class variables and the parameter names, then it's okay. COM, color is equal to COL, parameter name. Mileage class variable is equal to MIL, parameter name. Okay. When they have different name, no problem. PRI, WHE. You see, the error is resolved here. Now you say model means this model will get highlighted. MOD means this parameter will get highlighted. Is it working fine now? Are the parameter values getting assigned? Are the parameters getting assigned to the class variables now? Yes, right? The parameter values are getting assigned to the class variables. So what I will simply do now is like I'll just drag it again here so that you can see both the things. So after creating this kind of method, right, I don't have to write this many lines. What I will do simply do is BMW x3 dot. I can call this method yes or no, similar to calling start car, stop car, car details. I'll call init var method, and where I have to pass all these values as an argument. This x3 I'll pass in the first position. This BMW I'll pass in the second position. This blue color I'll pass in the third position, third argument as a third argument. 12.3 I'll pass in the fourth argument. 55 lakhs I'll pass in the fifth argument. Then it's also done. Then this number of wheels I'll pass as the last argument. Okay. Done. This many statements are required now. I can remove all the statements. It will work still fine. Okay. You see how many lines I have reduced? From 6 lines to how many lines I reduced? From 6 lines I converted that to how many lines for initializing? This x3 will go into this. X3 will go into this MOD, and MOD will go into this class variable model. Initializing is automatically done. In one line I have BMW will go into the com, and that BMW will go into this company, class variable company of that particular object. Blue will go into this color, COL, and this color will get assigned to the color. Then what else? Mileage will go into this mileage. Then price, PRI. Okay, this particular 55 lakhs will go into PRI, and that will go into the price class variable. Okay, we are initializing indirectly, right? WHE 4 will go into WHE, and that will get assigned to wheels. Okay, class variable wheels for that particular object. Similarly, I can repeat the same thing for here also 6 lines are there for the second object also. I'll simply say HOD dot HOD dot init, whatever the method name I gave, that I'll give that here. I'll just cut it from here and paste it here. Honda, I'll cut it from here and paste it here. Okay. White, I'll cut it from here and paste it here. Then 14.23, I'll cut it from here and paste it here. Then 1,56 lakhs here. Sorry, Control Z, Control X, Control V. This 4, I'll pass it as the last argument. Do I need all these statements anymore? No, I can remove. Simple. Okay. 6 statements got reduced with 1 statement. For every object, the same thing will be there, guys. Okay. MSVD I dot init variable, and here again Swift VDI. You see how we have to use this kind of methods. With the help of methods, I'm making the initialization part a bit smart. You see, for every variable, for every object, I don't want to write separate lines. Okay, that is a problem statement I am solving here. For every object, for every variable, I have to write a statement. Otherwise, that I got reduced by creating a method here in the class template and then creating some parameters so that I can, initialize that parameters to the class variables, and all that logic I have written here. These arguments will go and fall into the parameters, and parameters will get assigned to the class variables for this object. Okay, this is not coming. Yeah, 4 is also given here. Okay. Done. 4. Now I'll remove all the statements. Next one is the last object, 4th object. I created 4 objects, right? Four objects also. 4th object also, I don't have to write this many lines. I simply write hy i20 dot init var. And here I'll say i20. I'll give i20. I'll give Hyundai. I'll give gray. I'll give 16.82. I'll give 12x. I'll give 4. Number of wheels as 4. Here. Done. These statements are not required anymore. Okay, like this, you see, I reduce 6 lines into 1 line. Okay, 6 statements into 1 statement, and see whether the things are still working or not after creating a method and initializing the class variables for each and every object. Car having the X3 model, company BMW has started, and all those details have come properly. Odyssey, Honda, all the details have come properly. Swift VDI, all the details have come properly. Car i20, all the details have come properly. Do you see any problem here? No. Guys, everyone clear? What problem statement have solved is clear for everyone? What problem statement have solved is clear for everyone? I reduce the number of lines. For every object, for every class variable, I don't have to write a separate statement. Rather, I create a method like this, and this, okay, this method variables, I'll assign to the method parameters, I'll assign to the class variable. So the same initialization will happen. Instead of doing the initialization here, I'm doing the initialization inside this method. But my problem is, there's one more problem coming, guys. There's one more problem coming. Everyone clear so far? Everyone clear so far? Guys, able to hear me? My voice is breaking. Guys, is my voice breaking? Okay, maybe internet connection problem. Just give me a second. Now it's fine. Guys, now it's fine. Is my voice breaking? Still breaking? Okay, confirm again, guys. Freshly confirm. Is my voice breaking? Is my voice breaking? No, it's fine now, right? If it is repeated, let me know. Okay, great. Everyone clear with this concept? Everyone clear with this concept? Everyone clear with this concept? Just type C in the chat. Clear?
Aaron, the concept is clear. I mean, the only thing I personally have a little bit of ambiguity in it is when you declare the class and the objects, and then you without the main method, then you created the main method separately.
Yes.
That's only
to create the objects, I created in order to create the objects, I have to run the program. For that, I created the main method. Inside that, I created objects, 4 objects I created. For each and every object, okay, I initialize this class variables, okay, earlier. And that reduce the number of statements to, with the help of method calling statement, I reduce that to 6 lines to 1 line. That's what I have done in this section, in this part. Remaining all is same. Only thing is that I don't have so many number of lines.
My question is not about, I understand the concept of the objects and how you created them. My question is, like, why did you create the main method separately than the other ones? I know
simple thing is that there is no compulsory rule that I have to create a main method separately. I can create the main method inside the same car class also and do the same thing again. Okay, but I want to make it very easy for you guys to understand. Okay, so I want to create this car class as a pure template without containing any code for running and all. I want to use this as a template. Okay, got it?
Okay, yeah, doubt is clear. Thank you.
So that you can understand. So that you can understand the concept clearly. Even though the main method can be created inside the car class and same thing you can write, can you understand it? It will become very clumsy for you. Side by side, if I create 2 classes and if I explain you like this, it will be very easy for you, right?
Yes.
And also, now, by creating the main method as a separate class, right? You can create any number of class. In any number of classes, you can use a car as a template for creating the objects. Yes or no? Not only in the demo class, okay? In any other classes also, you can use car class for creating the objects. Yes or no? This template you can use in any class for creating the objects by doing that separation thing. There are some benefits of separating this car class as a template class. Why? Because the template class can be used by multiple classes for creating the objects. Not only this demo class, there can be another sample class you create. There also, if you want to create an object for the car class, you can do that. Okay. If you don't have such kind of plans, you can simply create the main method here. That will be okay. But I want to create and demonstrate as a pure template. Okay, I don't want to mix up the concepts. Okay, so to get that clarity, for you guys to get the clarity of what is a template class and how to create the objects, that is the reason I created a separate class. Okay, for the main method.
I did not get one point. We are putting the value here, right? In
X3?
Yeah. And what about that string mode, string com? Is that is also value, right? Model is equal to more.
This one?
Yeah.
This is nothing but an argument. You remember the yesterday session, right? Method calling statement. This is a method calling statement. Using the object reference, we have to call this particular method which belongs to a separate class. Okay. Using the object reference, we generally call the methods or variables of a separate class. And here, instead of calling the method directly, I'm using the object reference because this particular method belongs to a different class. If this particular method belongs to the same class, what I have to do? Do I have to use object reference really? No. This particular method belongs to a separate class. Okay. So I have to use object reference, and using the object reference, I have to call this method. When I call this method, these are the arguments. This is a method calling statement, and these are the arguments. These are the arguments. X3 argument is going into the MOD parameter. The second argument is going to the second parameter. Third argument is going to the third parameter of this method. Got it? I'm just calling a method, that's it. And what is the method doing here? What is the purpose of this method? To initialize this class variables with parameter values that came from these arguments. Got it now? Is that clear?
So you are putting a parameter inside the variable, right? The model variable. So model is the variable, and you are putting the parameter mod inside the variable, and that is, and X3 is the
yes, correct. We are assigning the parameters of this particular method to the class variables. Got it?
Yeah.
See, the class variable is model. Okay, if you want to initialize the variables of this particular car class for this particular object, right? We have to write it directly here. BMW x3.model is equal to x3. BMW x3.company is equal to BMW. BMW x3.color is equal to blue. Like that, I have to write. Instead of writing that 6 lines, what I'm doing, I created a method here. Whatever I have to do here, I'm doing that here by writing this logic. Instead of doing it here in 6 lines, I can now create any number of objects. For every object, I have to write only one line, that is method calling statement, where this argument will go into this parameter, and that parameter will get assigned to the class variable. Indirectly, we are initializing the class variables for this particular object. Using the object reference only, we are calling, right? BMW x3 only we are calling. BMW x3 only, we are initializing the variables means in the computer memory, in the object one, model is equal to x3, company is equal to BMW, color is equal to blue, mileage is equal to 12.3, price is equal to 55 lakhs, wheels is equal to 4 will be stored in this object memory. Okay, that's what we are doing, nothing much.
So we are doing this one here. We are initializing value here because we don't need to go to the car class and change the value, right? We can direct, I mean, wherever we want, we can change the value. Particularly in the demo class. Yeah, our demo class are any. Okay.
So here when you call the class method, right, automatically these arguments will go in here and they will get initialized for that particular object of the class. Simple.
Yeah, but if I want to create another class and I can change the value in another class, right? Something else.
Another class means if demo you are talking about?
No, like if I want to create another class and call this car class, then I can change the value again, right?
Yeah, you can change it, no problem.
Yeah.
You can change it, no problem. That's not a big deal. Okay. That object references belong to that particular class then. Okay.
Okay.
That objects belong to that particular class. Okay, you can do that, not a problem. Yes, we can do all the stuff. Whatever you're asking, right? We can do all the stuff, but this is not the right time. We have to go step by step. It will become complex. Things will become complex if I go very fast. I'm going a bit slow. So you guys need to understand what is the intention of creating a method here. Why did I create a method here? Earlier, without method, what was the problem? What was the problem statement? For initializing this class variables for this particular newly created object, I have to write how many lines earlier to initialize? How many lines I have to write earlier? Tell me in the chat box. How many lines I have to write earlier? 6 lines. But now how many lines, with how many lines I'm able to initialize the class variables for this particular newly created object or this second object, or how many lines I'm writing for every object? Only 1 line. That's what is the advantage you have to focus more on. Clear, everyone? So these arguments are going to the parameters, or parameters are getting assigned to the class variables. Okay, that's fine. So if that concept is clear, just type C in the chat box. If that concept is clear, just type C in the chat box. Everyone types in the chat box. If you don't have any doubts, just type C in the chat box. We'll go to the next level. Very simple. Step by step, we'll go. Don't worry. No hurries, no worries. Okay. We'll go step by step. Okay. You have to understand what. Okay. Why we are doing, we have to understand. Okay. I simplified the code a bit. I'll close all this stuff, close all these things, and create one more package here. Because I don't want to, you see, I'll upload this code, guys. I'll upload this code for you so that, you know, okay, when I upload this code into the GitHub repo or something, right? Then you will get all this code for you. Okay, I can do that. Okay, at the end of the session, remind me. I'll just upload the code into the GitHub repo and share all this code with you so that you can get the code for you from here. I'll just create one more. Sorry, I'll just go to one. I'll create one more package, sub package. Under the main package, I'll create one more sub package like .3 package. I'll create. In the 3 also, I'll copy these things. The previous examples, right? I'll copy this because I want to optimize the code a bit more. Okay. Because I don't want to create again from scratch. From 3, right? In 3, again, I'll open the car class. I'll open the demo class. I'll just, drag this here and there. You can see both. Now, what is the problem I have is this parameters readable? Tell me, guys. Are this parameter MOD is readable? Can you understand MOD means model by default? Com means company. Can you understand? COL means color. You can understand. MIL means mileage. You can understand by default. PRI means price. You can understand. Are they readable? Are they properly readable? All these variables are properly readable? No. The answer is no. They're not readable. Okay, they're not readable. But in Java, we have to make the variables or parameters, anything should be in a readable format. So I have to make it to model only. The same name I have to give. Here also, car variable is also, class variable is also model, and parameter name is also model. Okay, here company, car variable is company, and here parameter name is also company. Here car variable is color, and parameter name is also color. Here class variable is mileage, and parameter variable is also mileage, having the same name. Price, and here also price. Here also price. So there's another problem I am solving, guys. Just observe this carefully. Here wheels. Now in this case, I cannot do model is equal to MOD because MOD doesn't exist. I have to give model here. Here I have to give company. Then here I have to give color. Here I have to give this parameter color. Okay. To make it readable, again, the same problem is repeating where I'm assigning the parameter to the same parameter only. You see, parameter is getting assigned to the same parameter only. Okay. That's what is the problem. Mileage is equal to mileage. Okay. Mileage is parameter is equal to mileage parameter. Price parameter is equal to price parameter. Does it make any sense? If you assign the parameter to parameter itself, does it make any sense? You have to assign them to the class variables, right? You have to assign this parameter variables to the class variables, but not the same parameter variables. Here, this model is also parameter. This model is also same, referring to the same parameter. That's the problem. So to differentiate that, there is a keyword known as this keyword. A new keyword I am going to introduce. What is the keyword? Everyone type in the chat box. The name of the keyword is this keyword. Everyone write. To maintain the readability and still differentiate the class variables from the parameter variables, we have to use this keyword. This means this model means which is getting highlighted, class variable. Okay, this means this class related variable. Normal model means parameter. This dot company means this class variable company. This normal company means parameter company. This dot color means class variable color. The normal color means parameter color. This dot mileage means class variable mileage. This dot price means class variable price. Other side we have parameter variables. This dot wheels is class variable, whereas this wheels is parameter variable. Okay, this is parameter variable. This dot wheels is class variable. Now I'm not compromising the readability now. Am I compromising the readability now? Guys, in this case, am I compromising the readability of this parameter names? With the help of this keyword, I'm able to segregate the class variables from the method parameter. So the task is done. This is another step forward, guys. Okay, step by step we'll go. That's it. Okay, the code is going to work as it is, you know, without compromising the readability of this parameter. With the help of which keyword? This keyword. With the help of which keyword? This keyword. Everyone type in the chat box this keyword. You guys have to remember. Another, you see, purple color kind of thing is coming means this keyword is recognized by Java. Like new keyword was there, like static keyword was there, white keyword, class keyword, package keyword. Another keyword is there in Java known as this keyword, using which we can differentiate the class variables from the parameter variable names when both have the same names. Okay, when both have the same names or different names also you can use, not a problem. Okay, this means class related variable. Normal thing means parameter variable. Okay, using this keyword we have solved this, and if you run the code, you see you'll get the same output without any differentiation. You see, you got the same output. There is no problem in the output. Output came very properly. No problem in the output, right? So everyone understood that this keyword. Everyone can understand what is this keyword now, and how I improved the readability. This keyword means for readability purpose. I increase the readability of the parameter names with the help of this keyword by differentiating the class variables from the whatever the variables before which I use this keyword, that will become a class variable. Whatever the variable name before which I don't use this keyword, it will be, if it has the same name as a class variable name, then it will become the parameter name. Yes, this keyword is used only for differentiation. To differentiate that this particular variable belongs to the class. To specify that it's not only for differentiation, Jesse, but to specify that this particular variable belongs to the class variable, you can mention that this keyword. If this kind of situation doesn't occur, still you can use this keyword also, not a problem. It's not about differentiation. To specify clearly that this particular variable belongs to the class, you have to use this keyword. Simple. Either you want to use for differentiation or you don't want to, you can simply use this dot model, this dot company, this dot color. That means class variables. This will become class variables. Okay. And another advantage you get is you are differentiating the class variables from the method parameters when both have the same name. Okay. That's the main purpose of this keyword that people will use. But some people will use this keyword irrespective of whether there are some parameter names having the same class name, then also they can use that also. That kind of thing is also there, but especially useful when you have the same class variables and same method parameter names. For improving the readability, you can separate the class variables from the method parameters. Okay, by not compromising the readability of the method parameters, we have to use this keyword to segregate the class variables from the normal method parameters. Okay, that's the purpose. Everyone clear? Just type C in the chat box if everyone is clear with this keyword. We'll go to the next level now. I'm solving one by one problem. This is how you have to learn Java. Very important. Today's session is very important, guys. Today's session is very important. If you understand today's session, it will be very easy for you in the upcoming sessions. Okay. Don't understand today's topic, you repeat this video or recording, you watch this recording 1 or 2 or 3 times until you get confident about this object oriented concepts. Okay. You practice also, guys. You practice also. Just don't watch this kind of sessions. Okay. Practice all my recordings, okay, in your free time, and try to get the clarity. Fine. You need to get the confidence of creating the classes, objects without any confusions and all. Okay, step by step we are going. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of disturbing this code, right, you'll have the code here. So I'll create one more package here, sub package here. I'll just name this package as 4.4, package as 4. And here I'll copy this car.java and demo.java here into the 4 package. I'll copy that, and here I'll open the car class, and instead of writing from scratch, right, I'll just do it. The next step, guys. Okay, there are a few more steps there. Okay, be with me. Important things. Don't okay, today is very important, so be attentive here. Next thing is, I don't even want to write this single line also. For every object, automatically I want to initialize the variables. I don't want to even call this particular method separately. What I have to do? I don't want to write even a single line also, guys. What I have to do here is, instead of using a method, I have to use something known as a constructor. Everyone type in the chat box constructor. To reduce a single line, for instead of single line, initialization should happen automatically when you create an object. For that, we need to use something known as constructor. Everyone type in the chat box constructor. We have to use something known as constructor. Yes, constructor. This is a method. This is a method, guys. Constructor also looks similar to the method only. I'll explain the difference between a method and constructor here. I'll explain the difference between a constructor and a method, guys. Okay, just be with me. I'll explain the difference between this side. I'll write method. This side I'll write constructor. Okay, this side I'll write constructor. So the name of the method can be anything, guys. Okay, name of the method can be anything. Can be anything. Okay. So here, if I give an example here, init where is the name matching with the class name? Is a method name? This is a method, right? Public void init for initializing the variables is a method name. Is it matching with the class name? Is it matching with the class name? Yes or no? No. It is a separate name we have given. What about start car? It's a different name, right? This is also a method. Stop car? Yes, it's also a different method. Get car details? It's also a different method. All these methods are different methods. All these methods are different methods, guys. Okay. All these methods are different methods. Okay. These are the methods. They can have their own names. Their own names. There are no particular rules like name of the method should be something like this also. But coming to the constructor, the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. Name of the constructor should match with what? Name of the class name. Name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. Name of the method can be anything apart from the different, it can be anything like apart from the class name, it can be anything. But if the name of the constructor, methods and constructor look similar in syntax case. Okay, methods and constructors look similar in syntax. Okay, the common point is they look similar in syntax. They look similar in syntax, but what is the difference here? What is the difference between a method and constructor? Method names can have different names apart from the class name, whereas constructor name should be same as a class name. Okay. Now, if I have to create a and few more things are there, guys. The next thing is methods will have return type. What is the default return type of any particular method? If the method is not returning any value back to the method calling statement, what is the default return type of a method? Yes, void is a return type. Or if a particular method is returning some values like integer values, then what will be the return type of the method? Int will be the return type. Or if it is returning some string literal, string class will be the return type. Okay, like that, many return types will be there, either void or int or string. But what about the constructors? Will constructors have any return type? No return types. No return types. That means no void, no int, no string, etc. You cannot write even void also. Constructors will not have any return type, including void won't be there. Constructors will not return anything back, guys. You see, the name of the constructor should match with the same name of the class, and constructors will not have any return type. Okay. So that another difference also will come here. This particular method, if you have to convert it into constructor, will the constructor has a return type? Tell me. Will the constructor can have the? This is a method actually. I want to convert this method. Method looks similar to the constructor. Constructor looks similar in syntax with the methods, but constructors will not have return type. So I have to remove the void or not? Yes or no? I have to remove the void, right? In order to convert this into a constructor, do you have to remove the void? Yes. I will remove the void because constructors will not have any return type. And also the name of the constructor should match with what? Which name we have to give for the constructor? Which name we have to give for the constructor, guys? Class name. I'll give the car we have to give. Okay, that's it. Now method got converted into constructor, guys. How easy it is. Able to understand, guys? Constructors will not have any return. Constructors look similar to the methods. Public, no return type. Name of the method, name of the constructor will match with it, should be same as the name of the class. That's what is a constructor. Okay, if you want to convert a method into a constructor, these very simple lines, just remove the return type and change the name of the method to the name of the class, and that will become a constructor. Okay, it's no more a method, it's a constructor now. Whatever you are seeing here is nothing but what, guys? Whatever you are seeing on the screen that I am highlighting is a method or constructor. Tell me, is this particular thing a method or constructor now?
Constructor.
Constructor. Okay, it will not have return type, and the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. Then it will become a constructor. Remaining all things will be same, guys. Okay, similar to method only, everything will be there. Will not have return type. It will, the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. Now, when you do that, third thing is there, guys. Okay, if you do that, methods have to be methods from from a different class should be called using what? Methods from a different class. For example, here demo is a different class, car is a different class. So this this start car, stop car, get car details. Okay, if I have to call these methods from this another class, then I have to use what? I have to use what? Object reference. You see, BMW X3 or start car. BMW. If these particular methods belong to a different class, okay, from a different class, if you want to access the methods of a different class, then you have to use the object reference to call that particular methods. Okay, to call that particular methods within the same class means you don't have to call them, you know, directly start car, you can say stop car, you can say, you don't need any object reference. Okay, but if you want to call a particular variable or method of a different class, then you have to use object reference, right? Okay, methods of the different class should be called using the object reference. Okay, just write down here. Methods from a different class should be called using object reference of the class. Okay, object reference of the class. Object reference of the object of the class, whatever you say. But here, constructors are automatically called. Constructors are automatically called on creating the objects. When you create objects for the class, right? On creating objects for the class, the constructors will be automatically called, but methods will be automatically called. You have to explicitly call. You see, once you create an object, is the methods calling automatically? No, you have to use object reference of the class, and using that object reference, you have to call the methods. But constructor, while creating the object only, you can call the constructor. That is the reason circular brackets are there here. Clear, everyone? Why the circular brackets are there here? Now able to understand? In the object creation statement, some circular brackets are there. This means this is a constructor calling statement. Whatever I highlighted is a constructor calling statement. Everyone type in the chat box. Whatever that I highlighted here is nothing but, guys, it's nothing but a constructor calling statement. You see, the name of the constructor car is there and circular brackets are there. But there's some difference I will explain. But here, this is a constructor calling statement. Okay, everyone type here. Everyone type in the chat box. Whatever I highlighted on the screen is nothing but a constructor calling statement. Everyone type in the chat box. Constructor calling statement. When the constructor is being called, they have to explicitly use object reference and call the constructor, or when creating the object only in the object creation statement only, the constructor is being called.
When object creation.
Yes, automatically constructors are being called when you create an object. You don't have to write a separate line like this explicitly. You don't have to write BMW X3 dot init variable for initializing the variable. You don't have to write. What you have to do? Simply, when creating the object, right, this constructor calling statement will be there if you provide the circular brackets after the car class. New keyword will create the object for the car class, and to refer to this object, we will create an object reference and will declare or define this object reference with the same class type. And but after the new keyword, after the class name, we have to provide circular brackets because this is a constructor calling statement. The constructor calling statement. But error is coming here. Why error is coming here? If you see the constructor, is it empty constructor or it has some parameters? This parameterized constructor, that is. But here, any arguments are there? You are passing in the constructor calling statement. Any arguments are there when you are calling the constructor?
No.
No, that's the reason you are getting the error. You see, the constructor is undefined or something is coming because you have to pass these arguments, guys. Whatever the method arguments you are passing right now, just start it from there and paste into the constructor calling statement. Now tell me, do I need this statement to separately call the method? Init variable method, do I need? No.
No.
So when you're creating the object, automatically the constructor is being called and these values are getting assigned to this class variables. Same concept, same logic. Constructor will not have any return type. Constructor name should match with the name of the class. And when you're creating the objects, constructor will be automatically called. You don't have to explicitly use the object reference to call the constructor of a different class like that you do with the methods. Okay, but for methods you have to use object reference of the class, guys. But for constructor you don't have to do that. Okay, here also same thing, guys. Okay, whenever you are calling the constructor in the second object, also take all these arguments and pass them in the constructor calling statement. Here the errors will be gone and you can remove this. So 6 lines got reduced to how many lines for every object? Okay, for initialization part, how many lines used to be there? 6 lines earlier. That got reduced to 1 line now. That 1 line also got reduced to 0 lines now, because automatically the initialization is happening when you create an object for the car class. Okay, right? When you create an object for the class, then only the initialization is automatically happen when you create an object. You don't have to specially use the object reference and invoke a particular method to assign the arguments to the parameters of a particular method, then assign to the class variables of a particular object. Okay, you don't have to do that. Just, you know, while creating the object only, you pass it here and things will be good. Okay. That's it, guys. Very simple. You see, 0 statements. Now it went to 0 statements. Okay. Earlier there were 6 statements for initializing the class variables for every object. Now that became one statement in case of methods. When I converted the method into a constructor, constructors are automatically called when you create an object statement that will be anyhow there in our code. So when you're creating an object, automatically in the constructor calling statement, you are passing the arguments, and that arguments are getting assigned to this parameters of this constructor, and they are assigned to the class variables of that particular object. Okay, for each and every object. If you run this code, you'll see, if you run this code, you'll get the same output without any problem. Again, you are getting the same code. Now understand what is the benefit of constructor. Can anyone tell me what is the benefit of constructor now? What is the benefit of constructor? If someone asks you why we have to use constructors in Java, if someone asks you why we have to use constructors in Java, you understood the difference between method and constructor, but why we have to use? They look similar to methods. These are the differences. Name of the method will be different, and whereas the name of the constructor should be matched with the same name of the class. And return type of the method can be either void or some return type, where a constructor doesn't have a return type including void. It will not be no void. Okay, methods from a different class should be called using the object reference of the class, whereas constructors are automatically called when you create the objects for the class. This you understood, but what is the purpose? Why we have to go with constructors over methods? When we have to go for constructors over methods? To initialize, to simplify the process of, you see, everyone understand this answer, guys, that I'm giving. Why constructors in Java? If someone asks you in interviews or something, why constructors in Java, you have to answer this. Okay, to simplify the process of, initializing class variables to the objects, we have to use what? What is the simplest way of, or you can say the simplest way of, simplest means simplest, the last simplest way of initializing class variables to the objects. Okay, simplest way of initializing class variables to the objects is possible with the help of, for every object, if you want to initialize the class variables, the simplest way is what? Constructor is the simplest way. Okay, method is not the simplest way. Okay, method also we can do. Okay, method also we can do, but constructor will simplify the stuff. Okay, that's the main purpose. That's the main purpose of creating a constructor, guys. When you create an object, automatically the constructor will be called, and you don't have to write many lines, and that actually makes the things very easy for us to initialize the class variables for each and every object. We don't have to write even a single line. Okay, we don't have to write even a single line for initializing, because in real time for a particular class template, there may be 100 variables. For 100 variables, you have to write 100 statements. That is a very big difficult thing. You can convert that into method, but rather than method, the simplest and better way is constructors. Okay, so that's why you have to understand constructors like this. Everyone clear with the constructors? Everyone clear with the constructors? What is the purpose of the constructors, and everything is clear? Just type in the chat box if it is clear. This is the main purpose of the constructors, guys. There may be other purposes, but the main purpose of the constructors is to simplify the initialization process for the class variables. To simplify the initialization process for the class variables, we have to use constructors. We have to use constructors for this purpose. Okay, we have to use constructors for this so and so purpose, guys, to initialize to simplify the process of initializing the class variables for each and every object. The simplest way is constructors, and you know what is a constructor and what is a method. How constructors are, though they look similar in syntax, how they are different, and constructors are automatically called when you create an object. You don't have to specially use object reference to call the like a method from a different class. Constructors are automatically called when you create an object. Okay, this is what is the constructors all about. Now, am I done? No, I'm not done it. Okay, there's one more thing that you have to understand, guys. I explained about constructors for you. I explained about this keyword for you. There are many other stuff, but last but not least, I'll explain something about static. Everyone type in the chat box. I'll explain static again, but on the floor, right, I would like to explain static. Okay, here also I would like to explain a keyword known as static keyword. There's a keyword known as static keyword. You see here, can you see a static keyword here? Before the main method, can you see a static keyword here? Guys, can you see the static keyword here in the main method, right? Yes, we can see the static keyword. So what is this static keyword? Why it is required? In real time, I'll explain you guys in real time what is the purpose of static. Everyone learns static in an artificial way in the institutes outside. But if you want to really know the purpose of the static keyword, you have to understand these concepts, whatever I covered so far. Okay, now just focus here what I'm trying to do. Now tell me, guys, anywhere, if I show you this diagram here, somewhere here, if I show you this diagram, this object memory allocation for every object, if you see this diagram, anywhere am I wasting the computer memory for any variable? For any variable of that particular class, am I wasting any computer memory? Can you see that and tell me? For what I am wasting the computer memory? I'm duplicating. Every time same value I'm assigned to that variable when compared to other variables. What is that variable? You see, in every object, we have the same value for that particular variable. What is the name of the variable? What is the name of the variable for which the same name, the same value is there? Even though multiple, yes, wheels is a correct answer, right? Model is different. You see, model X3 is there, model Odyssey is there, model Swift VDI is there, okay? Model I-20 is there. Value is changing. Company BMW, company Honda, company Maruti, company Hyundai. Color blue, color white. At least some values are changing. Color red, color gray. Mileage 12.3, mileage 14.23, mileage 23.12, mileage 16.82. Price 55 lakhs. Price 1 crore 56 lakhs. Price 8 lakhs. Price 12 lakhs. Wheels is equal to 4. Wheels is equal to 4. Wheels is equal to 4. Wheels is equal to. This is only same. Remaining all variables are okay, but this variable is same. Is it a good idea to store this particular data of this particular variable in specific object memories of a class? Is it the correct way of storing the value of these variables? Tomorrow, 100 of variables will come, which are common for all the objects. Will you do the same thing and waste the memory of the computer memory you will waste? This is not the correct place. This is not the correct place for wheels, because every car will have 4 wheels only. Most of the cars, whatever we talk about, will have 4 wheels. So it's a common. It should be stored in which memory? It should be stored in specific memory of the objects or common memory. It should be stored in common memory or specific memory of the objects. Tell me, guys. This wheel should be stored in common memory or specific memory of the objects, individual objects. Common memory. What is common memory then? You are giving me a suggestion that yes, this is not common. It's kind of common for all the objects, so it's not a common memory. This object memory, you are accepting that this object is a special memory of a particular object. Okay, this is another special memory. This is another specific memory. This is another specific memory. So this kind of common stuff should not be stored in the specific memories of the objects. So the common memory is nothing but the class memory. Everyone type in the chat box, what is the common memory called as? Class memory. Common memory is nothing but what? Class memory. If I have to store this particular wheels data in a common place so that all the objects can access from there, I have to make it part of which memory? Class memory. Okay, here whenever you create a class, for example, whenever you create a car class, right? Okay, like you create an object here, new car. When you create a new car object here, some memory is getting allocated for each and every object, yes or no? When you use a new keyword and create an object for the car template, okay, for every object using the new keyword, object memory is allocating for that particular object, yes or no? Yes, it's getting allocated. Similarly, when you create an object for the when you create a class, similarly, apart from creating the objects using the new keyword and all, when you create a class, public class, class name, starting of the class, ending of the class, the moment you do that, some memory will be allocated for the class also. Okay, in Java, what will happen? Some memory will be allocated for the class also. Every class also some memory will be there. Okay, I'll simply say that as class 1. Okay, like object 1 I said, right? Like that I'm saying class. But what is object reference of this? What is the reference to this particular class memory? What is the reference? We cannot call that as object reference, because it's not an object, right? It's a class memory. So some class memory got allocated for one of the class. So how to refer to this? How to refer to this memory? Using what? We cannot use object reference to refer to this class memory. Then what have to use for referring to this class memory? Tell me. No. Using what I have to refer to? Yes, class name is a correct answer. Selvi, you are right. Using the class name. What is the name of the class here that we have given? Car is the name of the class. Here the way we have given BMW X3, the way we have given HOD, MSVDI, HYI20, then there is a name for the class also, right? The class name will act like a reference to this class memory. It's a class reference. It's not an object reference. Car is a class reference. Here BMW X3 is an object reference. HOD is an object reference. MSVDI is an object reference. HYI20 is an object reference. But car is what? It's a class reference. Class reference, you can say. Okay. It's not an object reference, guys. Don't tell me that car is an object reference. It's a class reference. Okay. It refers to the class memory. Some address will be there for this memory that is allocated for this class when you create a class. And since it is referring that, we can call this car name of the class as a class reference. Okay. In this, if I want to store these wheels, instead of storing these wheels in these objects, memories, specific memories, and if I want to store them, how to use this class memory is, first of all, it's a common memory. You already told me that this is a common memory. Class memory is nothing but a common memory. Okay, we can call this as a common memory or class memory. 2 words already came. There's one more name like static memory, guys. Okay, what is the other one? It's also called as static memory. Also, there are multiple names here. Okay, there are multiple names here. This can also be called as static memory, guys. Okay, common memory. You can call this class memory as a common memory, or class memory or static memory. Multiple names are there for this class memory, common memory, because it stores the common values. Okay, for every object, if the value is same for the particular variable, it should go into the class memory or common memory. It can also be called a static memory. Why? Because the variables which store common values, same value for every object, that variables at a global level, these are all global variables. That variables at a global level should be declared with which keyword we have to write, which keyword we have to write, which keyword we have to write before that particular variable which is going to store common values. Here directly say static int wheels is equal to 4 directly. That's it. You don't have to do anything. Static int wheels is equal to 4. This value 4 now becomes to the class memory. Static memory, class memory, common memory. Once you put the static keyword here, this variable no longer belongs to the object memory anymore. It belongs to the wheels doesn't belong to the wheels will not be stored in the object specific memory anymore. Once you put the static keyword before this variable, global variable, this will become a static global variable. These are instance variables. These are called as instance variables. These are called as instance global variables. These are static global variables. Okay. Static global variables belong to the class memory, where instance global variables belong to the object specific memory. Got it now? Clear, everyone? These are instance. Everyone type in the chat box. These are instance global variables. Instance means other name for object. Other name for object is what? You can also call object as instance. Okay. Instance global. It's declared outside the methods, right? So global variable, instance global variable. What about this one, guys? Company. It is a static or instance. Company is static or instance? Static or instance? Company.
Instance.
Instance global variable. What about color? Static or instance?
Instance.
Instance global variable. Then what about mileage?
Instance.
Global variable. Instance means object. Another name for instance is object. Okay. You can also call object as an instance or instance as an object. There are terms you can exchange here and there. Part of programming. Okay. Instance means these are global variables, but they are instance object related global variables. But coming to this, when you put a static keyword, this will become what? It's a static
variable.
Global variable. Okay. Okay. It will become a static global variable. It will become a static.
Actually, small doubt. So global variable means which is declared outside of the class, no sir? Globally means not inside the class, no?
So have you not attended some sessions, Srinivas?
No, actually that's doubt. I mean that's a doubt I attended, but actually global variables means outside of the
No. Outside of methods, directly inside the class and outside the methods.
Okay.
Yesterday only I covered this. In yesterday's session.
Yeah, that's fine. But static, what is the advantage, sir? Why we will put actually? What is the use
I
of?
told you, right? This is the advantage. If variable value is same for each and every object, if you create 100 objects, in 100 objects, wheels will be 4 for every car, right? That kind of data you cannot store in the object memory. That will consume more memory. Yes or no? Able to understand this? Wheels is equal to 4. Wheels is equal to 4. Like the 100 objects are there, 100 cars are there. For every car, 4 wheels only there. Do you have to save this 4 as part of every object memory and raise the memory for every object?
Okay.
That's the reason we have to store that in a common memory. That is nothing but a class memory. When you create a class, automatically common memory will be created for the class. And in that class memory or common memory, we have to store these wheels. That's the reason if you put static, it will belong to the class memory or common memory. Okay. The keyword will make that particular variable belong to the class memory. No more belong to the object memory. If it belongs to object memory, what is the problem that is happening? For every object, you are storing the value, same value, repeatedly, right? That's the reason. Got it now? Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So just to save memory, we will declare static.
Yes, that's it. Simple. Okay. Not to save memory, you say for common memory should be part of a common stuff. It should not be part of every object, right?
What is the definition of static, sir? The memory which will be stored in class memory, right? The definition of static.
Static memory or common memory or class memory, both are same. All the things are same. Okay. Static memory, if you provide static here, it becomes a static global variable. The value that is assigned to this variable will belong to the class memory or common memory or static memory, you can say. No problem. Okay. That's the terminology only.
Static variable are stored in common memory or class memory.
The names are class memory and common memory, class memory, static memory are the different names that we call the class memory with. Okay. If you provide static, it will belong to those memories. Okay. Those are different names. For example, a person may have different names at home and at office, right? So relatives will call that person with same name. Okay, and outside at office they will call with a different name, like that. Okay. Like that, common memory, static memory, class memory, all are same only. All are nothing but class memory only. Okay. There are different names or terminologies we use to call them. Okay. So common memory or static memory or class memory or everything is same. There's nothing like separate things. Okay. Can be
But
class
instance
memory
global
can be called
variables are stored
class
in
memory can be
object
called
memory.
as common memory. Common memory can be called as static memory. Simple words.
Yeah, instant global variables are stored in object memory, na?
Instant global variable values will be stored in the object specific memories. Okay. Whereas static global variables values will be stored in the class memory. Simple. Class memory can also be called as static or common memory. Okay. That is the reason. That's how we have to understand. Clear? Clear now?
Yes, sir. Sir, we can print that one, how much memory is getting saved in binary
No,
digit.
we cannot do that. That's not out of topic. That memory management we are not going to deal because that will deviate our curriculum. Okay. The memory management concept is there. How much memory and all, we don't have to worry. Already you can see visually, right? You are not storing the memory means it's going to the common place means depends on how many objects that much memory is getting saved. Only one place you are saving instead of every object. Okay. Don't worry about the memory concept, guys. Don't dig deep there. Okay. This concept you understand. These are the core concepts. We'll go to memory management later. Okay. In advanced, in dedicated Java core Java sessions, right? Advanced or dedicated. There I'll cover that in detail for you. But for now, don't worry about the memory management and etc. Just deal like this only for a while. Okay. Now, since I have made this static variable, a global variable which belong to the static global variable belong to the class memory. So do you have to initialize it anymore here? You have to initialize this. I have to remove this, right? For every object, I don't have to initialize anymore.
No need.
No need of initializing for every object. Okay. So if I don't initialize here, if I'm not sending as an arguments means I don't have to create a parameter here. If wheels you can remove. In this constructor parameter also I can remove the wheels. That's it. Here this dot wheels is equal to wheels also you can remove. That's it. Okay. Only the instance variables only, instance global variables only you are initializing here. Okay. As part of the constructor. But static global variable which belong to the class memory, you are initializing directly here because it has a common value. All the objects will have the same number of wheels. Okay. All the cars will have the same number of wheels. So it is a common memory or class memory. With the help of static, we'll make it class memory or common memory. Okay. A static memory you can call. And here when you are printing also number of wheels is equal to plus wheels you can say. That's okay. Okay. Plus wheels you can say, you see. Wheels is part of the same class, right? You can directly say wheels here. No problem. And run the code here. Run the code. Right click. Run as Java application. Will you get the same output? Yes or no? Number of wheels of the car are 4. Number of the wheels of the car are 4. Number of wheels of the car are 4. Number of wheels of the car are 4. This time, what is the difference that I have done? Very simple difference is that the wheels are no more part of the object memories, object specific memories. Wheels is equal to 4 is part of the class memory. Clear everyone now? Wheels has come here. It's nowhere here. In every object, it's not there. It's now part of the class memory, which can also be called a static memory or common memory. Okay. That's what we have to do. Okay. That's what is the purpose of the static keyword. Is everyone clear with the static keyword? The moment you can also put static keyword before a method also, guys. I have a lot of other things I have to explain about static. Static is not completely explained for you. Okay, as part of the context, I have explained static. As part of classes and objects concept, I covered the static here. But in the upcoming sessions, I'll cover the static in depth for you. Okay, I'm going to cover static keyword in depth for you in upcoming sessions. Okay, there's a concept known as modifiers. As part of the modifiers, I'm going to cover static again. But here, just try to understand this example. That is more than enough. Okay, if something belongs to the class memory, if it is common for all the objects, then you have to make that, whether it may be method or it may be a variable, you have to make it static. Okay. A particular method is a common method for all the objects, or if a particular variable is common variable, it will store the common variable value for all the objects. Then you have to make that static, and the value should be stored in the class memory instead of the object specific memory. That's what you have to understand. So this is the final code, guys, for class and objects concept, object and classes. What are the different object oriented concepts we have in Java, guys? What are the different object oriented concepts we have in Java? Object oriented concepts we have in Java. What are the different? First one is object is the first topic. In object oriented concept, object is the first one. Second, class. You have to understand what is a class. Okay. Then many other stuff are there, guys. Many other stuff like overloading. Overloading and overloading is there. Instead, we call it as polymorphism. I'll tell you what is this. Under polymorphism, we'll get overloading and overriding. With the help of overloading and overriding, we'll solve polymorphism concept. I'll not explain now. I'll just highlighting you in the upcoming sessions. We are going to discuss about this object-oriented concept. In today's session, object and class are completed as part of object-oriented concepts. Don't separately look for a separate session on object-oriented concepts. You are learning already object-oriented concepts. I'm already explaining. I explained what is an object. It's a representation of a real-world entity. What is a class? Class is a template or blueprint or plan or factory for creating objects. Polymorphism, I'll explain later. Then abstraction, then encapsulation, there is inheritance. Like this, many concepts are there, guys. So total 6 are there. The main object-oriented concepts are 6: object, class, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, and inheritance. All these concepts I'm going to cover in the upcoming sessions. Remaining object and class are already covered. Remaining concepts are polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance that I'm going to cover later. Okay, inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism I'm going to cover in the future sessions. Okay, for now, object and class I completed in this session, and I felt like I explained kind of good, and hope you guys have understood the concepts. But practice this, guys. This is very important session. You are moving to object oriented concepts. So from now onwards, few sessions you have to practice like anything. Okay. The previous sessions, it doesn't need that much practice, but this session needs a lot of practice. Okay. A lot of people lose this basic. They don't have this knowledge of these basic concepts, and because of which they will not be able to understand the frameworks, or they'll not be understand the complex stuff in Java. Because of this basic stuff in Java, no one is explaining properly. That's the reason you guys are afraid of Java programming. Okay, if anyone is afraid of Java programming, I can damn sure say that this is the concept that is making you guys afraid. Okay, because no trainer is explaining in this way. What is the purpose? Like that, they are not explaining. Okay, step by step you have to learn. First, you have to know what is an object. Then you have to know what is a class and how to use a class for creating an object using new keyword. Then you have to initialize the class variables using the object reference. You have to know what is object reference and initialize the class variables and call the methods using object reference. That will take a lot of lines. To solve the problem, we have created a method in the class template, and we call the method to simplify the initialization process into 6 lines to 1 line we have done. And after that, to differentiate the class variables from the method parameters, right? I've used this keyword, okay, so that readability will be increased. And next thing is that then I went to the constructor, where it will simplify the process of in the simplest way of initializing the class variables. Okay, when creating the object only, the constructor will be called, and the values of the class variables will be initialized. That also I explained. And after that, I told you that some common variables which are part of common data of the variables for every specific object, right? You don't have to do that. That will waste the memory. So we have to move that into the common memory. For that, we have to use static keyword I mentioned for the global variables. Okay. We also learned here in this today's session about different type of variables, guys. Okay. What are the different type of variables we have learned so far? What are the different type of variables we have in Java? Variables at a high level can be divided into 2 types. What are they? One is local variables.
Instance.
One is local variables. Initial session, you remember, yesterday's session. Local variables and global variables.
Global variable.
Okay, local variables and global variables. The variables that are created inside normally inside a method are called as normal local variables. Okay, these are normal local variables. Variables that are created inside the method, okay, are normal local variables. Normal local variables. Whereas the variables, like they are specified in the method declaration, like parameters, are called as parameterized local variables. Parameterized local variables are also 2 types. Parameterized local variables, right? Those are also local variables. The scope of these local variables, that is normal local variables and parameterized local variables, is up to the method in which you have created them, okay, or defined them. And coming to the global variables, we have 2 types of global variables for now. What are the 2 types of global variables we have? One is instance.
Instance variable and static variable.
Yes, global variable. And other one is a static global variable. Okay, static global variable. Okay, variables or variables, whatever you can write. Okay, so static keyword is there, means static global variable. Instant, if you don't have static keyword, means by default it is an object related global variable, and which is created outside the methods, not in outside the methods.
Inside the class.
Inside the class and outside the methods is called as global variables. And if static keyword is not there, that global variables are called as instance global variables. If static keyword is there, that belong to the class memory, and they're called as static global variables. Okay, like this you can understand the variables, guys. If tomorrow, if another type of variable comes, I'll again draw this diagram. Okay, every time I'll come across a different type of variable, I'm going to draw this. Okay, fine.
So you replaced with the constructor, so that means we are going to use constructor a lot in Selenium, or?
Yes, constructor is used a lot. Okay, that is very important. Okay, By default, when you write the first line in Selenium automation, right, there is something known as Chrome driver class. That Chrome driver class is nothing but a constructor only. You are calling a constructor, and because of the constructor calling only, the Chrome browser is getting launched up. Okay, so I don't have to explain this right now, but that is very inbuilt part of the Selenium automation, or any library you take. It may be TestNG library, it can be Java library. Constructor concept will be there everywhere. Okay, so I have to explain more about constructors, guys. Okay, tomorrow remind me, I'll explain more about constructors. Constructors I have to explain in detail. In detail, I have to explain about constructors. Okay, then remaining stuff. Okay, so remaining stuff, whatever that is there, I'm going to explain that. Okay, the next topics will be, once we are done this, right, overloading, inheritance, and overriding, we'll try to cover next. Okay, the next topics will be,
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
yeah.
So what happens like if we try to return the constructor value? For example, like if you are giving two addition values and returning that sum value,
It will not accept that as a constructor. Java will not consider that as a constructor. Okay. If a particular constructor has the same name as a class name and you are trying to put a void or some keyword, right, it will give an error. Cannot do that. Okay. A warning message is coming at least now. You see, this method has a constructor name. Okay. So don't do this. It is saying, okay, change it to constructor. It's saying, okay. So it may work like a method, but it should not be doing this. As per the good practices, it should not be doing that. Okay.
okay, even if you are typing as a return type also, like it won't accept it, right?
It will accept it, but the problem is, it is you see here, you see int is giving methods must return a result of the type int, and it's accepting here return some 5. I'm saying, let's say, what is happening? Error is gone. Warning message is only coming. The method has a constructor name, so try to give a different name for the method. Don't give the method name as the same name as the class name. It's saying as a good practice. Okay, but you can still create, but that's not a good way of. Because all the other people will get confused, right? Why this guy is creating the name of the method as the name of the constructor class, even though he knows, they will think about you. Okay, error may not come, but warning message is coming.
Okay.
The topics for tomorrow are something simple, that is overloading. Constructors I'll explain in detail, a bit detail. Constructors, overloading, inheritance, and overriding are the topics for tomorrow. Okay, those are the next topics. You can type in the chat box if you want to remember. Constructors in detail. I'll explain some more concepts of constructors tomorrow, and then overloading, inheritance, and overriding are the 4 concepts I'm going to cover tomorrow. Okay. So, but repeatedly watch today's session, guys. Before attending tomorrow's session, try to watch the today's session repeatedly and try to practice. Okay, assignment is very simple, guys. Whatever I have replicated, right, try to do the same thing. Okay, nothing different. Here you have taken the car class, right? You take an animal class. Okay, I'm giving the assignment, guys. Everyone focus here. I'm giving an assignment here. Try to do this assignment. If you do this assignment, you're good. What you have to do is assign, as part of assignment, you have to create class template for animal. Create animal class template. Animal class template, and create different type of animals. Different types of animals like cat, dog, butterfly, whatever you want. Okay, and give some properties there, some methods there. Okay, so like that, you try this out. Can you try this out, guys? Whatever I have done with class and this car class, right, you have to do with animal class and different type of animals. Okay, can you do this, guys? Can you do this assignment and post it?
Do you need to do this assignment using your last method, or do you have to go to the
you can practice everything, but ultimately I want the last one only.
Okay, because you
can start with step by step. That's okay. If you want to learn step by step while solving this assignment, you can go with the 1, then go with the 2, then go with the change it to 3, and then change it to 4. Okay, so this code I'll give it to you. Don't worry, you can have the reference to this particular code. I'll just go here and share this code. Don't ask me how I am sharing this code. You can I'll make it possible for you now. This is first time I'm doing that, I think so. So earlier, did I share the code anytime, guys, with you? Guys, anytime I have shared this code with you? No, right? Till now I didn't share the code, I think so. For the first time I'm sharing. So I'll just use some, this concepts I will explain at the end, guys. Okay. At the end of the sessions, when we complete Selenium Java framework concepts and all, right, we'll go to this kind of GitHub concepts. I'll cover that later. You don't have to learn this. Simply say new and batch to Java. This is batch to Java, right? This is batch to Java. So here I'll say create a repository, cloud repository I'm creating. Don't worry what I'm doing here. is not explained to you in one, but how to access I'll show you. That you only have to understand. Okay, come back here, copy this, come back here, and go to here. I'll go to my C drive. I'll go to this Firefox. I'll go to this local repos. Some location in my machine. Don't worry what location that is. You can go to any location, but you don't have to understand this. Batch 2 Java project. Batch 2 Java I'll say otherwise. Okay, simple, same name. And here I will. Here what I have to do is I have to right click here and say show more options. Git bash software is there in my machine. That may not be there in your machine. Git init or git clone, directly git clone, and paste the URL of the GitHub repository. This one you don't worry if you don't understand also. I'm trying to. Oh my god. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll just delete this, guys. Okay, I'll delete this. I did a mistake here. Don't worry. What mistake also I have done. Here I don't have to create this folder also. I'll tell you what is the reason behind that. Here simply I'll right click here in the local repos. Okay. Git init, git clone, git clone. Paste it here. That folder will automatically come. I don't have to create also. This batch 2 Java folder will automatically come. I'll close that and go inside the batch 2. And here I'll copy this code. Whatever the code I have written here, right, in the project location, right click, properties, go to the project location where the code is available. In this project, Control A, Control C. And here, come back here and write down, paste it, paste the same entire code. After that is done, right click here and simply say, show more options. Simply say, git status, git init, git status, git add dot. Don't worry about these commands. I'll cover that later. Git status. All these commands I'll explain you later. Class and object concepts I covered today, right? All and previous also. For the first time I'm doing this and previous Java concepts. Okay, whatever I covered so far as part of Java are there here. The entire code will be there here. Git status, git push, origin, main. Okay, that's it. My code will be uploaded to the cloud repo. From my local machine, I am uploading the code, whatever I have written into the cloud repo. And if I go here and refresh this, at this moment, it's not there. After I git push origin main, I'll get the code here. Okay. Now I'll share this URL with you, and you can go into the SRC folder. And the SRC folder, you'll see all the packages. Okay. So today, what is the package I covered? What is the package I covered today? Class object demo is a package. Okay. Go inside the class object package, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4 are there. If you want to go to one, car.java, you'll get all the code of car.java. Got it? Clear, everyone?
Can you show us how do we access this from our machine?
Directly URL you have to access. Okay. So this URL I'll give you. This URL I'll give you. Just wait a minute. Just press enter. I'll give you the URL. This URL you have to take, go inside the SRC folder, and you'll get everything. Okay. Here in this project, under the SRC, whatever the packages are there, that packages will be displayed as folders for you or here. Okay. This is a repository name. I'll paste in the chat box, and also I'll paste in the WhatsApp group also. Everyone save this.
Sir, shall I ask one question?
Yes, please.
Sir, yes, today and yesterday test change concept is still not uploaded.
Uploaded already. You can check it.
Okay, sir.
The Google Drive, you can check it. Okay.
So it's already uploaded or it's pending?
It's already uploaded.
It's a which folder, sir? May know.
Batch 1 folder. Directly.
Sir, one more time, which folder name?
Batch 1 folder name. Directly under the folder.
Batch 1. Okay,
You
thank
go to the Google Drive here.
you.
I
Okay,
don't
sir.
have. 1 minute. Directly. You can get the Google Drive link from here, right? Copy this Google Drive link and go to this location where you can access that. Paste it there. And once you paste, once you have the access, you can paste it there. And in the batch 1 folder directly itself, we have here. You see day 1, day 2 is there, na? Like
Yes,
this.
sir. Yes, sir.
Got it? Here we have.
Yes, sir. So in the test ng means which I could not find anything.
Don't use testng there. I have not created any separate thing for testng. 99 and 100 video are belonging to testng only. Okay. So
Yeah,
if
okay,
there is a
sir.
confusion, we can do one thing. 1 minute. I'll do one thing. So here I'll create a new folder. I'll just name this folder as frameworks. Framework concepts. Framework concepts. Okay. Folder name is framework concepts. In the framework concepts, I'll create a folder known as testng related folder. I'll create new folder testng. Create. Okay. Then I'll move this file here. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. It's okay. It's okay, sir.
So tomorrow onwards, so you just access from the frameworks folder. Okay. Frameworks folder, testng folder, whatever the separate things. Here move option will come. I will do that. Where is that? Move. Organize. Move. Testng. Okay. Move it. So move the 99 video, A99 Selenium Java framework concepts is moved there separately. And here also I'll move. Organize. Move. Testng. Okay. Move it. Move. That's it. Till 98 only, the Selenium videos will be there for batch 1. And after that, next videos will be framework in the framework concepts folder. Go inside the framework concepts folder where you'll find testng folder. There you'll find all the videos related to testing. Okay. 99 is the first video and 100 is the second video. Got it? Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Done. Any other questions? Any other doubts before we wind up? Last. We're almost at the last.
Arun, I have issue with accessing the Evernotes.
Maybe your company is not allowing. Is anyone else is having the access problem? Evernote links, you guys not able to access? Anyone? I'll type this Evernote link in the chat box. You just try in your machines. Try to click on that and see if it is opening. Just say yes. If it is opening for anyone, just type yes in the chat box. Yes, it is opening. So who is unable to open? Who is
I
unable?
can't open it.
Vishnu, you are?
Yes, I can open it. Yes.
You can open?
No, I can't.
Okay, maybe is your laptop your company laptop?
No, it's my personal.
Okay, try out. I think it should open. It's no restrictions are there then.
Okay. Oh,
Let's find out what is that. Okay, try to open in incognito mode or something. Try all the different ways, different browsers you use.
okay. Okay.
Everyone
I'll
is
try
able to
to.
open. Everyone is able to
Okay.
open. Try
Okay,
another
fine.
machine or something. You will be able to open otherwise. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, fine.
Sir, shall I ask one more question?
Yeah, please.
Sir, what things are upcoming classes on the weekend, coming weekend? Test related or anything?
Exchange related only for the batch 1 I'll take.
And the 500 test cases are, sir, this is something.
No, that will take some time because you are still in core Java, right? Batch 2 is in core Java. And once we are done with framework concepts, once we are done with R&D of frameworks, right, then we'll go to the automation, end-to-end automation. Okay.
Sir, test is separate, I think, and then R&D framework R&D separate things, sir. Both are same, sir.
Yes. R&D is separate again. All the R&Ds are
Yeah,
on
okay,
weekends.
sir. Thank
All the R&Ds are on weekend, and mainly I'm trying to finish up the batch 1 because it has took a lot of time already, right? So I'm taking batch 1, dedicating the batch 1 for weekends for batch 1. Okay. So whatever the topics
Yeah.
that will come, you have to keep on attending. It may be R&D session, it may be normal session, doesn't matter. You attend both on the weekdays on the morning hours and also weekends. Also, batch 1 sessions will keep continuing until they are completed. Got it?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Guys, anyone have any other questions?
Can you send the link in the chat for that that note one? Mine I could not open. Okay.
Sent. Batch to Evernote link also I have sent. Okay. Fine. Just name this as a class object. And object. Okay. Fine. Clear, guys? Is that fine? Great. So that's all for today, guys. We'll meet tomorrow at same time, and we'll try to complete the remaining stuff. So constructors in detail, and then we'll go with overloading, inheritance, and overriding. Okay. So these are the pending topics that we'll cover and complete tomorrow. Okay. That's the plan for tomorrow. And today's session, you try to do the assignments. If you are able to do the assignment, you will get the confidence of class and object. Otherwise, you'll not get the confidence. Okay. Bye, everyone. See you then. Connect with you tomorrow in the evening hours. Bye, everyone. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, welcome. See you. Bye.